altitude? If the answer is no, then it really doesn't matter what your definition is.
So how could there be two of them then?
Because different people name different things. They have different milestones. And I have my own.
Were you aware of this, though?
Yes, I was fucking aware of this. I'm the one that's teaching it to you right now.
Teaching.
Yeah, you are.
I'm getting all hyped up, bro.
It's too funny, man. The one guy says it's scientific, right? And you show that, well, if it's scientific, it has to be at one specific area. So how could the Americans give you space wings at 50 miles when the international community says 60 miles? I mean, that should be...
It's what they consider space. It's what they consider space. But both the international community and the American community both agree that in order to sustain an orbit, you probably have to go a little higher than that. They're in agreement there. Another thing they're in agreement on is that the Earth is fucking round.
Right. I'm sure that's it, too.
I feel like we're just arguing semantics. But is anyone...
It's not semantics.
I thought we were talking about science.
At this point, it was about convention and what people define, whatever. But the point is that it doesn't matter what the Americans define. It doesn't matter what the Americans define. People said that, oh, well, the Fahrenheit, it's the wrong scale. No, it works just fine. You just got to use the right scale when making your calculations. Fahrenheit works just fine. Celsius works just fine. Kilometers works just fine.
So why doesn't, if gas needs, fills a container and spreads everywhere, why isn't the atmosphere rapidly spreading, equalizing in the vertical direction? You can.
Since you guys that's a good. I mean, could I couple that with another question? Since you guys are doing science, cause and effect, what's the cause of gas, so that we can then determine what it's, what's putting it in motion.
That's a whole other subject.
Well, I thought it might couple up well, meaning, the guy just now was asking what's causing it to go in a specific direction, right? I don't know. You got more comments? You got more comments, or I just say what I'm saying. So if he's asking what's causing the direction, right? What's giving it the directionality of the gas, right? It's being put into motion, right, by something else prior to it, or is it just?
And you're changing the subject.
Would be the. Can we mute this? Can we mute this guy? I don't know if this guy.
Stop changing the subject.
But I think we can mute this guy.
Stop interrupting Icy Spin, please.
Yeah. So if we're asking the question, right? What's so we have a directionality, a vector of the gas, right? So is the gas, right? The question would then be, is the gas putting itself in motion, or is something else putting it in motion? And if something, right? So now we would say, okay, well, if we can find out what's causing gas to exist in the first place, we could find the thing that's causing the motion. So do you guys have any idea on that?
Well, I'm confused because I don't see the motion. That's what's really confusing me. Everyone keeps saying that gas fills the container and gas finds equilibrium, but on Earth we don't see that. We don't see the same pressure. You go 300, 1,000 feet high, and which is not high, it's like 300 meters. Go 1,000 feet, and you see a massive drop in atmospheric pressure. The sort of drop that would cause huge storms, 100-kilometer-an-hour winds, crazy weather. Then that happens in just, you have that over 1,000 miles, and it would cause tremendous weather systems. But then over just 1,000 feet, you have this huge change in pressure with no crazy wind. No, anything. It's just totally peaceful, and I don't understand.
So then, scientifically, what could we do to manipulate it to cause the gas to go in motion, so that we can then find out we can find out what's causing it to not go in motion?
You can't really do a scientific experiment on this, but you can observe what happens at sea level, and you can be like, at sea level, when you've got 30 milligrams of mercury change over 100 kilometers, that's a huge cold front with massive storms coming through, right? It's a massive difference.
Well, that would go back to relative density, the mercury in relation to the surrounding air pressure. That's what it measures. But could I do?
We can just look at it, look at barometric charts, and we can be like, oh, look at this crazy cyclone happening because of whatever 80 milligrams of mercury difference, which is the biggest ever recorded on the surface or something. And then we've got 80 milligrams of mercury difference between the top of a small hill and the bottom of the small hill, and you're like, wow, that's really interesting. Why isn't it equalized?
Yeah, it's relative. I mean, they've shown that to be relative density, but with the pressure pushing through the capillary, the mercury. But you said, I can't. You're saying there's nothing scientific we can do to experiment and cause the gas to go into to move. What if I added more gas? Would it go in motion? What if I expanded the area or contracted the area? Would this cause it to go into motion?
No, but the question isn't what causes it to go into motion. The question is why it isn't in motion.
Right. So why is it right? So then we could perform science, right, to see what causes it to go in motion. That's why I asked the question. Maybe it would couple up nicely. What's the cause of the cause of gas? What's creating it? What's putting it in motion to begin with? Unless we're saying it just ex nihilo just began and just popped into non-motion existence. That would be hard to science.
Well, I think that the globe would say that the cause is gravity, and that matches pretty well with if you do the calculations on it.
Gravity is their god.
Oh, shit, that's everything.
I'm curious.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it did sound like you were answering that gravity is the cause of the existence of gas, but that might not be what you were saying.
I'm not saying that. No. I'm saying that I'm asking the room. Well, someone in the room said that gas fills a container and that gas finds equilibrium. But when we look on the Earth right in front of us, we see that is not what happens. And I'm curious as to why we see that's not what happens.
Well,
it's just
yeah, we're mixing it up a little bit because even when they say that there's gas pressure, they say that's the force colliding with the walls of the container. So when you're saying I'm observing gas to not be in motion, science says it is in motion. Like, you know
the
what I mean?
actual molecules itself may be in motion, but the overall direction of the wind and the particles is not overwhelmingly in motion on a large scale, on a micro scale perhaps, but that's not what we're discussing.
All right. Well, I don't. I mean,
there is a gas theory, Rick. Sorry, no, Tanks, my bad.
No, go ahead. I was just trying to make it something.
It's simple, dude. It's just like kinetic gas theory is just that. I mean, unless someone can show me otherwise, it's a pretty solid theory.
What does it say? I'm not familiar with it.
It's basically ideal gas law, and so like the amount of pressure versus like the volume, and then it's temperature. Like all those three things, like the different variables, will directly like equal its energy output. So if you change the temperature, then you're gonna get a different energy output. If you change the volume of it, you're gonna get a different. You know what I mean? Like all three of those things are interlinked with kinetic gas theory. So like for example, if you have a propane tank full of gas, okay, and you have that gas tank super cooled versus it being heated up, what do you think has more energy?
Well, the
what do you think?
Warmed up one, obviously.
Right. So there's like a proportional rate change essentially if you change any one of those variables. But all
if I had some sort of like a substance that was sitting outside, I'd imagine you put stuff in the freezer, it lasts forever, right? But if I have it outside, just sitting on like a table, it disintegrates. I mean, I guess evaporate. I don't know if I call it evaporates, but disintegrates, and eventually the food or whatever it is sitting on the table disappears. I guess you could say. Did it turn into a gas due to the energy of like if I put it out in the summer, it'll be going quick. The winter, it'll sit there all winter. Is the sun heating it up, turning it into a gas?
What?
Like a banana. You throw a banana outside. It's gone. It's gone in like a month. No more banana. Where'd it go?
Why are you throwing good food outside?
You never heard of bugs and worms and?
They say they didn't get it. You're saying without bugs and worms, the banana would just live eternally on the table?
Well, I think they're all out. I mean, in my worldview,
there's no one else talking. But like, what's stopping you from definitively saying like the Gleason's out, or the dual pole's out, or Antarctica is this, or the South Pole is this? What's anything? I'm just trying to get a convo going.
Well, I think they're all out. I mean, in my worldview, you can't model out the entirety of everything. So, I mean, what's stopping me from saying they're out? They're all out.
Do you think, like, if at any time you feel this is about you and you don't feel the energy doesn't feel right, let me know, because that's what it's about, right? It's about good times and stuff. So
yeah, no worries. I thought you were asking me about like my preferred model of everything, so I was like, okay.
I mean, I'm asking you, but it's not you're not center stage, not in a negative way, but you've got this dual pole Antarctica that's small, and then you've got on the other end, not to create these polarities or extremes that one must operate within, but on the other end you've got this other Antarctica that's around the whole world. And it's not just Antarctica that's different. It's from Antarctica, and then the more and more you move north in latitude towards the equator, all those points are different too, up to the equator. Is there any, I know I'm asking you, but really anyone, like, what's the difficulty that people are having because one thing, like, okay, Earth's level, it's not flat, it's not a globe, it's not curving, we've been lied to, but measuring continental scales, even though we haven't gone there, we haven't measured it, it's expensive. Man, I'm not trying to talk too much. Do you know what I mean, Gally? Do you get it, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think we use angle measurements to a star, and then we plot that onto a map. But I don't know if we've been to every part of the entirety. I feel like there's parts of the ocean that are probably unexplored. There's probably like islands and animals that we haven't seen.
So you know these whole angle measurements, at least for the globers, and distance measurements and all these stuff that the globers do. When it comes to the southern hemisphere, their bottom half of the ball is the same size as their top half of the ball, pretty much. So when they do 69 miles in a degree at the bottom half of their world, only the dual pole model, for the most part, would be close to working with that. This is I'm not. This is what I think. So there's no like I'm not saying you saying or this is what I'm feeling. Only the dual pole model when it comes to like distance measurements on the ground, so distance of the down ground, and angle measurements of the up sky. Dual pole's not perfect. There is a breaking point which I'm not going to talk about, but the dual pole flat Earth and the globe shares that congruency just from my own knowledge. So this whole 69, so imagine the glober's Antarctica, okay? It's small, it's at the bottom of their ball. And they do this whole 69 miles per degree around their small Antarctica at the bottom of their ball. That doesn't match with the Gleason. You following me or why?
No, I think all those projections are the same.
Well, look,
based on angle measurements to the star, right?
So let's look at two flat Earths right here. We've got the dual pole flat Earth and we've got the Gleason flat Earth. Okay, and let's just look at Antarctica in our minds. These two flat Earths, which is I'm not pigeonholing or forcing it into your views or insinuating it or any of that. Just looking at these things impartially on the table. We've got two flat Earths, and just looking at their Antarcticas, which is that's not the only difference, but let's just look at the Antarcticas. They're not the same. They're not the same in position over this plane. They're not the same in distance measurements. One of them's one dual pole Antarctica is this small thing down there at the bottom in the south. Gleason's Antarctica is this circular ring, whatever you want to call it, around the world. Both of these flat earthers will be saying these words. Oh, it's a projection. Oh, it's a mathematical projection. You know, all these things we are used to hearing. Oh, it's a projection. They are projections, but distances aren't matching between these two flat Earths. One Antarctica, if you were to put your feet on the ground in the ice and walk around the fucking world, walk around Antarctica, they're not. Are you following me? Yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. When it comes to this truth-seeking game, it is what it is. I mean, eventually, if you play this game, you'll hit a wall and you want to continue to proceed, but many of, the so-called peers, those that can see what you're seeing, they found comfort in the wall. So what do? Do you find comfort as well, or do you could see there's more, there's more, or do you keep going? I'll tell you what. I'm going. So if you guys here in your silence want to sit here and find comfort, you've got the same views. You've got the same arguments. Hold hands. Get close together. You'll keep your heat in better that way. But if you happen to look ahead and you see there's more, the journey goes on. There's more. But a lot of your bros, they're comfortable, and they would prefer you be comfortable with them. Don't move. Don't question. Don't optimize. Stay right there. Stay warm. Two poles of rotation, what's that? Fuck that. Straight shadows on the equinox, what's that? Fuck that. Distances getting shorter and shorter around the world, South and North Pole, fuck that. Anyways, where's the road forward from here? There's unified silence, unified agreement in fuck the road ahead. Nah, my bro's keeping me warm. I love that. Hug me tight, bro. I'm cold over here. Cover me, bro. What's the road from here? We're comfortable in a place where there's no real answers. No real answers. We don't even know how big Antarctica is. We don't know. We haven't gone there. It's expensive. We have no clue how big Antarctica is. Quick. Someone debate over level. Someone quick. Debate over the word level.
Gatebreaker, I think we've heard enough. All right.
Thank you, Blob. Jump in, bro. Thanks. The thing is, what it seems like to me is there's still a truth. I don't think our world is fully represented as it is. I just don't think the manner in which we engage in these debates in this community, not this server, just in this community, and the arguments we engage in and the same shit over and over again, like nothing's gonna crack, nothing's gonna slip. I really think it's a dead end, dude. It's not good, in my opinion. Not for a person's not good, but like I wouldn't want to choose that.
Yeah, I feel you. I kind of agree, but like, I wouldn't expect much to change, I guess is all I would say. A couple months after Witsit came back from Antarctica, I had a conversation with him on here, and he told me the Earth is not an object and the stuff in the sky cannot be actualized. So if you're saying that sort of thing obviously there's no conclusion to come to about the shape of the earth or anything like that, because you're just saying it's unknown. You're essentially saying we live in a simulation and we can't know anything because the earth is it's not an object and the stuff in the sky is not actualized. I don't even know what that means, but if you're saying that sort of thing, you're just essentially saying it's impossible to know.
I mean, we can speculate till the cows come home, but when are you going to actually validate?
Well, that's kind of my point. If you're saying that the earth is not an object and the stuff in the sky is not actual, there's nothing to validate because you're essentially saying we live in a simulation.
I heard that point. It was more to the second point, I guess.
Geo, you know the dual pole flat Earth, the edges of the map.
Yeah, like the outer ring.
So if you take a globe and you flatten it out, okay, real quick, I'll make this short. Okay, I'll make this really short. So you know this. If you take a globe and you flatten it out at the South Pole, you get the Gleason map. You get the globe, you get the middle of the South Pole, you poke a hole in it, and you split that motherfucker where you get that whole regions, and you put it at the outer edges. You get the Gleason map, right? If you get the globe and you poke a hole in it, so you have Africa on one side of the globe, just somewhere around Africa, it's indeterminate. There is no official answer. Middle of Africa, this side, that side, Mount Meru, whatever. Opposite side of Africa, the antipode, in the ocean somewhere. The same thing we just did on the Gleason, you poke a hole in it, you split it. That's the outer edges of that dual pole map. That's the outer edges of the celestial sphere for the dual pole map. The Gleason map, you've got one spot in the middle of Antarctica split apart and made the outer edges. That observer in that spot can look up. They would see the southern axis of rotation directly above their head. And that phenomena going on right there has been made to be the outer edges of the whole map in the Gleason map. The dual pole map, the outer edges of the dual pole map, the same framework, the same is opposite as far as the globe goes. Not saying one is right, one is wrong, but just model-wise, framework-wise. The opposite of the Africa on the globe, on the other side in the Pacific Ocean, near Hawaii, in that region over there, cut it open, put it to the outer edges. Celestial sphere, that same region, which is actually the equator somewhere, cut it open, put it at the outer edges. The Gleason map, their stars, their celestial sphere that's been cut and put at the outer edges for that one observer. Same thing is going on in the other one. Opposite of Africa, in the ocean somewhere. They're looking up. They're seeing the celestial sphere. I'm not going to explain the behavior of what they're seeing, but that point is split, and it's the outer edges. That image is this flattened out. And here's what that second blue image, here's what this is. That's an observer inside of a torus field. So the edges of that one perceiver in that diagram, the very first image, the very first image, we've got that straight equator. By the way, I'm not talking to anyone in particular. So straight equator, North Pole up, South Pole down. The yellow lines, that's the magnetic field. The red lines is the dielectric field. This is the electromagnetic field. We've got, the ancient science gods like, what was his name? The shorter gentleman, his name was, whatever his name was. They had this diagram that was something like this. I don't have it right now to post it. That diagram is a torus field flattened out. First picture is the dual poled field diagram with the 2 poles, equator, the whole field. The second one, the blue one, you're inside of it. Per this theory, this is what actually is going on. And then the third one, you're stepping outside of it. It's a torus field. It's spherical. There's 2 poles, 2 axes, one part at the top, one part at the bottom. And there is no, outermost edge to this. Like that first diagram is like a square, rectangle or whatever. And there's one edge that's furthest away from the other edge. Well, those 2 edges, they're connected. They're at the same spot. It's a thing that's wrapped around in reality and connected in the back, like a ball. They've flattened it out, so they've cut it that point, and it's the edges now. This is how you visualize a torus field in a like a 2-dimensional setting. So kind of forgot why I mentioned that, but this idea, yeah. So I don't want to say anything else. So like this diagram I'm about to post, let me find it. That I made before. It's got nothing to do with concave Earth, even though that's what it is in the picture, but it's to share the idea. So this topic, by the way, is beyond the Gleason. If you're on the Gleason, this is respectfully, it's beyond you and above you. And when I say you, I mean your knowledge, because that picture I posted, the outer edges of that map, look at the final image in that. It's the backside where it's connecting. It doesn't matter globe or concave. It's the same thing. It's the outer edges of that. Gleason is so far gone and dead. I feel sorry for you if you still think it could be Gleason. I'm not talking about Gleason. The outer edges of that, they're 1 point. It's the same thing as splitting Antarctica. It's the outer edges is 1 point. And ultimately, through a macro view of all this, through seeing data, models, lines, diagram, whatever, through seeing the whole Earth as a whole, you may be able, to see this. It's not even a figuring out, you just see it. No math required. The diagrams, the images, it is math. They're outputs of math. It's outputs of computation. So I don't know, man. Like some of you guys are in this community where you've got peers that they agree with you on this important point of like not a globe and we've been lied to and all that. But people have these wild, just different ideas, and one person has science, the other person like has something has to give.
Nothing's gonna give, man. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Most flat earthers are just going to stick to the debunked A.E. Gleason map for whatever reason, or they're gonna say it's impossible to know what the Earth is. Like very clearly, no one's going to realize that it must be dual pole, except for like you, Geo, and Dave, and kind of our one. Like if they were gonna realize it, they would have realized it by now.
It'll never be. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not stressing over this. It's just an observation. It'll never be realized when all of the debates and all of the everything is to such small scale, single point, down at the ground, debating over a semantics of level, and it'll never happen.
It's more fun to debate about whether or not we see too far. So that's what people are going to keep doing. Not trying to discourage you, because I agree with most of what you're saying, but people just want to fight about refraction.
The thing is, what it seems like to me is there's still a truth. I don't think our world is fully represented as it is. I just don't think the manner in which we engage in these debates in this community, not this server, just in this community, and the arguments we engage in and the same shit over and over again, like nothing's gonna crack, nothing's gonna slip. We're not. It's like I really think it's a dead end, dude. It's not good, in my opinion. Not for a person's not good, but like I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to choose that.
Yeah, I feel you. I kind of agree, but like, I don't. I wouldn't expect much to change, I guess is all I would say. A couple months after Witzik came back from Antarctica, I had a conversation with him on here, and he told me the Earth is not an object and the stuff in the sky cannot be actualized. So if you're saying that sort of thing, obviously there's no conclusion to come to about the shape of the Earth or anything like that, because you're just saying it's unknown. You're essentially saying we live in a simulation and we can't know anything because the Earth is it's not an object and the stuff in the sky is not actualized. I don't even know what that means, but if you're saying that sort of thing, you're just essentially saying it's impossible to know.
I mean, we can speculate till the cows come home, but when are you going to actually validate?
Well, that's kind of my point. If you're saying that the Earth is not an object and the stuff in the sky is not actual. There's nothing to validate because you're essentially saying we live in a simulation.
I heard that point. It was more to the second point, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the full point. I think that's kind of the play. That's where most people are going. They're either just saying, oh, I don't know, it's impossible to know. God told me it's impossible to know. The stuff in the sky could just be magic. It could be a hallucination. It could be like whatever, a green screen in our mind that God placed there or something like that. But we can't know any of this stuff. It's impossible to know. So we're just going to hold on to the Gleason map. And that's good enough because ultimately it's impossible because God told Job it's impossible to measure the earth or something.
No, but that makes more sense than like floating on a rock through space, though. You know what I mean?
It could make more sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make more sense, like just to say, okay, I don't know, like.
Well, no, but I'm saying like they
Logical.
just a proposal that like we're floating through space on like a sphere. You know what I mean? Is like that doesn't necessitate that either, though. You know what I mean?
You know, I agree. Like, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, well, what the hell are people arguing about flat Earth for forever if they think it's impossible to know? Because God said it's impossible to know, and the sun and the Earth isn't an object, and the stuff in the sky isn't actual. You're just saying it's a simulation. So why argue about it?
Well, I just say that because like it doesn't like again. It's like the idea that we're floating on a rock itself is also, you know what I mean? Like the idea that the stars are infinitely far away. It's kind of absurd, also. Is it
Yeah,
really? You know what I mean? Is it really the only explanation?
I agree. It is absurd. Like the mainstream model is completely absurd. But
Right.
I
It's
think it's
so
less absurd than
psychedelic.
saying that they're not actual.
I'll grant you that like it makes it like it's absurd, but like it's the idea that if no matter how absurd something is, if it's the only thing that makes sense, then that's what it has to be, right? But like at no point are we like locked into that. At no point is there not an alternative answer to these deeper questions. And I think, to be quite honest, that's actually been like a propellant of human ingenuity. Pardon my term of the human, but like of mankind's ingenuity is like this dilemma at the root of like everybody's kitchen table at some point without ever being answered was always prevalent, I think. And that is a benefit to mankind versus, you know what I mean? Like versus it not being on the table. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, I was eating, chewing. Yeah, I mean, I kind of know what you mean. I do think it's like curiosity is an engine for creativity and human development and all that stuff, or at least that's what I got from what you said. But Gatebreaker was talking about like the dilemma of flat Earth, basically, and in his mind and in my mind, also the Gleason map is debunked, but no one seems to want to explore other possibilities for flat Earth maps or models. They just want to argue about refraction all the time. And so I was bringing up the sun or the Earth not being an object and the sun not being an actual thing as just an example of why, because they don't. It's not actually about proving flat Earth. It's about just rebelling against the globe. But I do hear you. They are both absurd.
Forgive me, I'm a little busy here too. But yeah, like that's both worthy of like they both have contradictions. We both use the same evidence. It's like, it's absurd. I always thought like, it's absurd that the globe reacted such a way to make itself appear so retarded. Like, it's not even the globe that's ridiculous, it's the fucking It's the globers. Unfortunately. Like, imagine if how quick Flat Earth would have been killed if the globe was like, you know what? You're right. It's not the curve of the Earth that we see. It is to do with refraction. You know what I mean? If they'd have just conceded like those points early on, there would be no debate. But the knee-jerk reaction to stick to the guns of Bill Nye's number 2 on the list of 10 reasons why we know it's a globe, you know. Like if they'd have just let that one go, they would have killed Flat Earth. But they fucking created a hissy fit and the Barbra Streisand effect. And thank God they did.
Sure, but I kind of think flat Earth isn't as big as people think it is. I think we're actually a very small community of people who actually.
I think it's way bigger than you think it is.
Nah, I mean, I think people are into it as a meme, like as a TikTok meme. But people who actually know anything about it, who actually keep up with anything about it, it's very small. Where they would be here if it was big. This Discord would have millions of people in it.
No, because I think there's just people that are actually they're just like, why would I debate it? Why would I debate it with you? Like they don't like. I know people that just.
How long should it take to circumnavigate this this world of yours, Osco?
Huh? Is that a metaphor or I'm confused?
No, it's a question. How long does it take to circumnavigate the globe model, bro? I don't know how much plainer I can put it.
Well, it just seemed like a non sequitur. I don't know.
I mean, you were talking about the Earth being small in your worldview, and I just thought it was very relevant. But I mean, have you ever thought about that?
Well, it depends how fast you're going. It depends if you're on a plane or on
Well,
a
sure.
boat.
We're talking about circumnavigating. I mean, generally that's done on a ship, but I don't know. Have they ever circumnavigated on a plane, north to south, or is it always just east to west on a ship? Well,
I've done it north to south a couple times.
Yeah, that was in a plane.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or something, but that's the sort of thing that we were talking about is pointless to argue about. Just the same old stuff from 2014.
The question I asked is the same old question repeatedly asked, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we see too far. Laser tests, no circumnavigation north to south or something like that. It's just the same stuff when it's like, I don't know when you came into the conversation, but Gatebreaker and I were talking, okay, like the Gleason map is impossible. So why aren't flat earthers discussing other options? Instead, they just argue about the same stuff they argue about all the time. We could bring up examples of people who circumnavigated or flew over the North Pole and the South Pole. And then we could debate that for forever, but it's not really going to get us anywhere.
I mean, it's kind of the same old Glober thing I've been hearing forever. Like, when are we going to get a model? When are we going to get a map? I mean, it's just the same like 2 talking points you guys got. I mean, I don't know. It goes both ways.
When are we going to get a model? Yeah, about a model and a map. That'd be nice. Yeah.
There we go. Perfect example.
We have a globe model and a map, but we don't have a flat Earth model or a map.
Thank you for proving my point. Appreciate that.
So
Couldn't have came in at any better time.
How about some evidence for the flat Earth, though, like a model or a map or something? You know, any sort of evidence would be nice.
It looks flat.
How about an actual? I'm going to pull a DMOC out of my ass.
It looks flat. You know what I mean?
How about an actual model from your side?
I will say that is correct. It does look flat. It is, however, not flat because it looks flat because your eyes are not, because
I'm saying you asked for evidence.
Okay, that is a piece of evidence. It is a bad piece of evidence, and it can easily be debunked because it looks flat. It is not flat, though.
You see how retarded that kind of sounds, though? It's like it looks flat,
it's
not flat because
that's correct.
Because it sounds
really
retarded.
Small.
It just sounds retarded.
I don't care if it sounds retarded. It's true.
Okay,
It sounds retarded because it is. because it is retarded to say that it looks flat and
No,
thinking
this
that
just gets to what we were talking about before. It's both models have absurdities, right? But that's
Incorrect.
definitely
We have no
that's one of the
absurdities on the
globe's
globe.
absurdities.
We
is
have
that,
no
like,
globes. We have
we
no
know
globes
it's not
absurdities.
flat because it looks flat. You could tell because
No, it
how
looks
flat,
flat,
it looks.
but it's not. You haven't measured to be flat. It looks flat
Okay,
because you're
sure,
small.
man.
You're only 4 feet above the ground, and the Earth is really big. So it would look to be flat. That's correct. That doesn't mean it is flat. It means it looks to be flat because you are, like, I said, 4 feet off the ground, and the Earth is really huge. So anything other than it looks flat?
I kind of like the convo we were having, Osco. Like,
Of
respect.
course, you like any conversation that goes away from evidence, right? I got it.
No, we were having a good, honest talk. You know what I mean? And I think that gets to the heart of this, which is like, I think we both I think like all of us benefit from trying to understand the globe and its shortcomings
There's no
and
shortcomings in the globe.
flat Earth and its shortcomings.
There's
So,
nothing
like,
but shortcomings.
I think there are shortcomings for both arguments, and I'm just saying that I think we benefit when we entertain these ideas, you know. And I think, like, we benefit when we can entertain these ideas so much that we can hold both sides of, like, what's the sign of Aristotle, or like the mark of wisdom is like the ability to hold two opposing positions in your mind and reject both of them.
Well, if
And
one
so
of them is true and one of them is false, you reject the false one. The Earth is not flat.
right. But if both are absurd and they're not
They're not
worthy,
absurd.
well, I would dare say that to some of us they are. And
To
like,
you,
and I'm
yes,
just
I would say to you it's absurd because you have, yes.
well, no, I think anyone rational would
No, anyone rational? What do you mean
mark.
rational? Rational
Yeah, I mean,
implies you have a
like,
brain.
you're
Filled with evidence.
irrational for not
I'm
being able to
irrational.
understand it. Yeah.
I am irrational because you have no evidence, and that makes me irrational.
Well, we
Or
just
you
agreed that I do have some evidence, don't I?
you don't
Because
have any evidence other
it
than it
looks
looks
flat,
flat.
though.
It looks
Right.
flat, but it is not flat.
Well,
Just because it
says
looks
you,
flat.
dude.
No, it says anybody who's measured it, and you can do that too. It says anybody who's been up in an airplane.
Like, bro,
Says
I just
anybody who's
think you're
been
in
to
a
space.
religion, dude.
It
You're in
says
a
pictures
cult,
from
dude.
space. Says the Foucault pendulum. Says the Eratosthenes measurement. Says El Burundi. I mean, come on.
It's not good enough, dude.
It's not good enough. Right. Not good
It
enough.
still has, like, there's still holes in it, dude.
There's not holes, though.
Yeah, there are, dude. Like, you guys have to have the
There are no holes.
stars infinitely far away. There's all kinds of contradictions.
Stars are not
there.
infinitely far away. They are quite far away.
I don't really care to argue the nuance of it. I'm saying that,
Of
like,
course not,
both
because I'm
sides.
painting your ass.
No, you're not doing anything, dude. But I was trying to, like, have an interesting conversation with Oscar earlier. Like, just this idea that you recognize there's absurdity. Like, if both sides recognized the sincere points that they have, and both sides recognize the absurdities that their own positions hold, you would cover more ground. And I just don't think, like, I just think that a lot of people don't necessarily agree with the academic position for an assortment of reasons, and rightfully so. But if we can't get there's like if you guys can't even understand what we're talking about and why it's intriguing, then
NASA, let me just point out one of the absurdities of your worldview is that this place, this rock that we're flying around on, exists in potentially infinite space. Now,
That doesn't have anything to do
what's
with the
that?
shape of
What does
it.
that even mean?
Has
That's
nothing to do with the
an
shape.
absurdity that there is. Hang on. Yeah, no. But I'm just saying that's the worldview that you live in. Okay, and that's fine. I'm not having a go at you for it. But I'm saying what Issa's saying, that there are absurdities to a normal, just average human on the earth. The fact that this place could be flying around at 1,000,000 miles an hour in an infinite space is actually an absurdity. Like, everyone's very used to the concept in their brain. They've come to accept it, but it is an absurdity. That's all I wanted to
Has
point out.
nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, by the way.
Yeah, it kind of does because we're talking about the globe model, and in the globe model, there's all sorts of absurd things, like what he just pointed out. Not just infinite
Nothing to do with
space,
the shape of
but
the Earth.
infinite planets, right? So therefore, if there's infinite planets, there's another version of you out there arguing with another version of Isa out there, or something like that, because it's literally infinite. The fact that if you travel really fast, stuff just slows down. So if I travel really
Nothing to do with the
fast.
shape of the Earth. We've
Yes,
known
it
about
has
the
to do
shape.
with the
We've known
model.
about.
That's what we're
We've
discussing,
known.
dude.
We have known about the shape of the Earth for about 2,000 years before relativity. So sorry.
Sure, but can you not admit that there's some absurd shit in the model? Can you
There's some
really not
stuff
admit that?
There's some stuff that's difficult to understand if you lack basic scientific understanding. That's correct. However, this has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. It's going to be easily measured by equipment that you could make in your backyard, your mom's backyard, actually.
Zing.
Yeah, all this extra stuff the globe has, like light years and space time and all that stuff, that's just a bonus. This is all on the back of a convex globe. Once you realize, let's just say that the Earth has to be a convex globe, you've got a world of options, of theories, of all these interpretations of reality. You can do ether globe, you can do non-rotating globe, you can do NASA lies globe, you can do creation globe, you can do young Earth creationist globe, you can do all every idea you've ever heard of is first and foremost globe. You can do all of that. I think it's unfair to push this on the globe where just because they've got this so-called model worked out, that we poke the ends of their model, the latest and but for flat Earth, we don't do that. We don't care. Oh, we don't live on a model. Oh, we don't do any of that. Well, let's treat the globe like we treat flat Earth, just to be fair. And it's just measurements and observations, and what we see is what we get. And if we do that and be fair, the globe comes out ahead every fucking time. It's unfortunate.
Well, the problem
to say.
the problem with that is that when that concept, or I think the problem for me, anyway, is that when that concept meets philosophy, then the globe loses, and that's where all your measurements, you can easily almost refute that, and I guess and you can refute it in the concept that light is to me, I think, described, but it's malleable, right? And I know, like, I get kind of made fun of for saying that in some circles, but like light is more easily movable than a physical structure, I would think, like just on its face. So
Yes.
so like the idea that light would be like could make things apparent, or deceive one, is more convincing to me than like the Earth has to be a sphere because of the measurement of some lights in the sky. You know what I mean? Like is your measurements are all going to presuppose, like, I think, the celestial sphere.
Philosophy is important, but real measurements, like getting from point A to point B in a time and a speed, you don't need that philosophy.
Right, but it doesn't necessitate the Earth being a globe either. You know what I mean?
Well, it seems to be the only time
Yeah,
flat Earth is
actually,
winning
it
in
does.
philosophy against the globe is when the flat Earther thinks they're winning in philosophy against the globe. Other than that doesn't happen.
Well, I think
Actually, it does. It does, because if you get on an airplane and fly, say, to Europe, you're going to fly a great circle round. And you fly from California to London, you're going to be up over Hudson Bay and not New York City, like you would on a flat map. So it pretty much is. Navigation is proof that the Earth is not flat.
No, I think navigation is indicative of the validity of the celestial sphere, but I don't know that
Incorrect
the
again,
celestial.
because you're flying over the ground.
I don't know that the celestial sphere is.
What do you mean? The celestial sphere has nothing to do with you flying over the ground. Stop it.
Well, your measurements, your calculations are going to be based off of the
Nope,
celestial
incorrect.
sphere,
They're based on the ground. They're based on flying over the ground.
right? And measurements of star positions over the ground.
Incorrect. Nothing to do with star positions. Don't need the stars to fly over the ground. Sorry.
what they do.
How do you know where you're
Eventually,
at then without the stars, NASA?
GPS.
Come on.
but they uses the stars, dude.
Incorrect. GPS does not use the stars.
Well, you can start off by seeing where this actually. You would need a compass for that to be sure. So.
And with that, you could use a compass and headings too, and even then, yeah, the shortest distance between 2 points is not a straight line. It's a great circle route.
But NASA, have you considered nuh-uh?
Well, no, it's a very powerful flat Earth argument. That's basically the entire flat Earth right there.
Well, I mean, like, I find it interesting, like take for instance, like parallel sailing, right? Like we've talked about this before, because you were talking about great circle routes, etc. Like in parallel sailing, like they admittedly 600 nautical miles can be navigated as flat, right? That's in the books, right? We've talked
Where's
about
that?
this before.
600 nautical miles. Navigate is flat.
Yeah, you can
Where's
navigate
that?
600. It's in.
Show
Look
me
up.
that reference.
I've shown it to you 1,000 times.
No, you haven't. No,
I
you've never
have,
shown me
dude.
that. Nope,
I
you have
have,
not.
bro.
Have not.
Go look. It's common knowledge in
Common knowledge.
Yep.
Common knowledge, right? How
I
come
think
I don't know it then? If it's common
maybe
knowledge,
because Ruhif is. Where's Ruhif? If Ruhif is Ruhif did a whole video when I brought this up years ago, and my point is, it's in the books. Like when you look up.
in the book.
Yeah, when you learn about like navigation, you'll learn about parallel sailing. And look it up, NASA. If you look up parallel sailing, it'll like try to cite me on it. It'll be 600 nautical miles. You can navigate as flat, right? So that's like just to those of us outside of whatever, like just saying there's a great circle route
Parallel sailing is the marine
isn't
navigation
fucking
method
good
that
enough.
uses when a ship travels due east or due west along a constant latitude. Yeah, so they're traveling.
Yeah, and you can navigate it at 600 nautical miles of a distance, and you can treat that as flat, which is wild. If like this is why the contradiction and the absurdity is in like the idea that you could see the curvature of the Earth while I'm at the beach. When in like for navigational purposes, they say that it doesn't matter for 600 fucking miles. So like there's and the Earth. We both agree that the Earth presents itself as flat. So like the idea
No,
of
no,
like
incorrect.
problems.
No,
You said it
we did
looks
not
flat,
see.
right?
We did not. It looks flat. It
Yeah. Okay.
measures
So
not
good. So it
flat.
looks flat,
It
and
looks
they
flat,
treat
but
600 nautical
it
miles
measures
as flat.
It measures not flat though.
Yeah. Well then why do they allow for 600 nautical miles to be navigated as
haven't
flat?
found that number yet.
Well, it's in the books. I've looked it up. Ruhif has validated
Where's
it.
the book?
Look up Look up parallel
I am.
sailing and navigation, man.
I am. I don't see it.
I don't know, man. I've dug it up 100 times for people. I'm not going to go like it was on a hard
Of course
drive.
not,
That
because
was
it doesn't
no.
exist. Yeah, because you
It's.
made it up.
I'll try to find something for you, but I think it's well cited out here, dude.
Uh-huh.
It is, bro. From me, I'm the motherfucker that's been talking about this for
Well,
years.
you're a lying flat earther. So
And you're a crackhead, dude.
I'm a crackhead. Right. I just want facts and evidence.
Yeah, no, you're into government drugs, dude. I'm just
I'm into
saying.
government drugs. Got it.
Yeah, you do all the vaccines, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Which has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, by the way.
Well, I think you're a crackhead for it. I'm just saying. Let's look up parallel.
Let's see. Okay, I see. Recommended for distance up to 600 nautical miles where flat Earth assumptions cause minimal error. Okay.
There you go. So 600
minimal.
nautical miles. So I'm right though, right?
Excuse me, but not without error, with minimal errors.
Well, actually, go ask Ruhif, because even if you fucking plot a course on a regular fucking thing and you thought you were going to put in some Haversine formula, you're still going to be off by fucking like 0.5 of a mile, and we were off 0.5 of a mile off of our shit. So ask Ruhif. Ruhif did the whole calculation.
But this only works east-west along the same line of latitude.
No, it's a different line of latitude because you're fucking changing. You're
Excuse
changing
me,
lines of latitude. That's what parallel sailing is going in a different
Parallel
direction.
sailing you can only go east and west and only along the line of latitude.
Right, and you're going to be changing lines of latitude. That's what makes it parallel sailing.
But you can't change lines of latitude. Parallel sailing is
Yes,
only
you're
on a line of
literally
latitude.
If there was a box of longitude and latitude lines, like a box, you would be going catty corner. That's what parallel sailing is. So like you'd be going corner to the opposite corner. That's what
Parallel
parallel
sailing is
sailing
a
is.
marine navigation method used when a ship travels due east or west along a constant latitude.
Parallel sailing. I've always seen it as that you're changing like the latitude, like you're going north or south. That's what I've always thought.
NASA, isn't it just sailing east or west with like slowly curving towards the north if you're in the northern hemisphere? Like that's
Right.
what it is.
Oh, you curve south, don't you?
Depends what direction you're headed, but basically you're just you apply the rudder so that you maintain a constant latitude.
Right, but you can
Because if you just go straight, you can't maintain latitude by sailing straight.
Right, you have to turn left. Right, if you're going eastbound, you have to turn left.
Yeah, in the northern hemisphere. Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
All right, so well, and that's where they plot their courses using that 600 nautical mile number coming. And I'm just saying that when in their literature they're citing 600 nautical miles to be navigated as flat and can be treated as flat, it's It's counterintuitive to when we're saying that we're seeing the fucking curve of the Earth right over there.
It just seems kind of silly because the shortest distance would be a great circle. So I don't. I would love to hear the context as to when this technique is used and why.
That's just to be able to plot your course easier. But the point on that also too is that most people are changing their courses, or not changing, but re-examining their courses within like 100 miles, dude. So like they're always updating that. No one's ever actually calculating anything beyond 600 nautical miles. So for all intents and purposes, you're treating the Earth as flat the whole fucking time you're dealing with it. So like for like all practical purposes, you're treating the Earth as flat whenever you're doing this, stuff, because you're not really unless you're doing like shipping lanes. And I happened to have an interaction with a dude who was a captain who I borrowed this book called The American Practical Navigator by Nathaniel Bowditch. It was actually
Yeah, did you read it?
Yep, and that's where I
What's
learned.
on page 2 of Bowditch? What's the picture on page 2? Do you
I
remember?
think that's where it says the Babylonians gave you the whole fucking star systems you guys use.
Isn't the
And that the Babylonians were flat
isn't the picture
earthers?
on page isn't the picture on page 2 a globe?
Well, there's different versions, isn't there? Because there's different editions. So I had like the 6th edition was from like 82. So there's probably different editions,
Yeah,
smartass.
but doesn't it have like a picture of the globe, like the one of the
I
first
know it
pictures?
might be different because it's a different fucking edition.
But I mean, the Bowditch will tell you that the Earth is a sphere.
Yeah, no, granted he does.
Okay, great. Thank you. So thank you for proving that the Earth is a sphere by using
Just because it's
Bowditch, who
written
knows that
down
the
in a
Earth is a
book.
sphere.
Hold on, dude. Just
It
because it's
says the
written
Earth is
down.
a sphere, right?
It also says
Bowditch.
right. It also says the Babylonians were flat earthers, right?
Okay,
So you
so
got all your star systems from the flat earthers, right?
yeah, okay. So
All right. So there's like a lot of interesting information in the book. The point
yeah,
is
well,
that
we've learned a little bit
the
since the
point is I thought
Babylonians.
interesting anyway to my story was that the person that I happened to borrow this book from was a captain who actually did shipping routes and stuff, and would have been one of the only people that actually navigates more than 600 fucking nautical miles because he
You
did like.
understand when they're doing that, they're using GPS, right? They're not nobody. You understand nobody parallel sails anymore, basically.
I know, and what I thought was funny was that I was talking to this guy and I was asking him like, hey, like, do you know how like just in pat? I was like, do you know how to use Polaris to get your latitude? And here's a guy who does shipping and does all this crazy stuff with the computer, and yet he didn't know how to use Polaris just to get his latitude, which I
Right,
thought
because
was
he doesn't
interesting
have to.
because he had he had no practical use for that knowledge. But I thought to myself like, how weird and skewed of a view of the world if you're even the one who's actually the navigator, the people everyone will rely on to be, putting in and understanding Earth curvature or something, and he doesn't even know how to use fucking Polaris as to find his latitude. That's weird to me, dude.
Why? Why would it be weird? He doesn't know it. I mean, if you may even know.
What do you
I
mean
don't
it's
know.
weird that he wouldn't know that?
Why would
Or
he?
why
It
wouldn't
doesn't.
why
It
wouldn't
serves him
that
no
be
purpose.
weird?
Serves him no
Like,
purpose. He probably grew up in an era before. He probably grew up in an era after it was. Before GPS, they had navigators on board, and they would
Right,
shoot
but it's
stars.
interesting information. Like anyone who doesn't know
Why is
that
that
how you would use Polaris to find your latitude, to me is just silly. I think if you were serious about the inquiry of navigation, for instance, right? And and people can be in a business and not necessarily be invested in the information. And that's what I mean when I say that this guy who is like someone who would use to actually makes these shipping lanes and actually loaned me this book, who was a captain. You know what I mean? Didn't know this particular thing, which I thought was basic knowledge for for
Oh,
navigation.
did you sail in the southern hemisphere where they don't see Polaris?
Regardless of the southern hemisphere,
Why would he?
I
Why
thought
would
it
he?
odd that this guy wouldn't know that. For navigation.
Why?
Hemisphere where they don't see Polaris.
Why? Of the southern hemisphere.
Why would he?
I thought it odd that this guy. Someone over listening to the
Why?
YouTube or
You know, a
something.
delay or something.
Did somebody ask why? Like why?
Yes. Why would somebody in today's world need to know how to use Polaris?
Do you know how to use Polaris? Like how Polaris could tell you your latitude?
Well, I'll tell you one thing
Hold
that's
on, no,
happening.
hold on. Just NASA, real quick. Just before you do that, I just want to ask the young lady. Do you know how you would use Polaris to find your latitude?
Why do you find it odd that somebody running the shipping lanes today would not know how to use Polaris?
Well, I guess I don't find it odd in the sense, but then I don't find it odd, but I wouldn't like take their opinion about these subtleties that we discuss regarding flat Earth as very serious, even though their profession would indicate that they would know about these kinds of subjects. Do you know what I mean? Because
No, I don't know what you mean. That's why
okay,
I'm asking.
okay, so like if someone came in and they were like a doctor, but they weren't, and all they did was, let's say, write prescriptions or something, right? And they don't know about about the details or some kind of anatomy of the heart, right? Then like I wouldn't ask them about heart surgery, regardless of the fact that they might be a doctor, right?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have a hand surgeon do my heart surgery either.
Right. So when I'm talking about cosmology, like even though this person that I'm just talking with might be a professional shipper, you know what I mean, like doing shipping lanes, and he might be a glober. If I were to bring up some of the subtleties about flat Earth, and he doesn't know how to use Polaris as to find his latitude, that would be a rudimentary piece of information I would have thought he would have known, right?
But no ship captains operate on flat Earth. So I don't understand what you're trying to say, and I may just be misunderstanding you. I totally admit that. But in the world today, there's an infinite number more ships in the seas and oceans than there were way back when. We have come up with much better technologies of how to navigate.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just saying that like if and like because this person is so detached from the, let's say, like the magnificence of what they're doing, right? By putting down these shipping lanes, because they're so detached from some of the history that formulated what they're doing, I wouldn't necessarily consider their opinion about the subject to be informed. Do you know what I mean? Like even though they can map out and use a computer program and use GPS to map out their shipping lanes, if I told them I was a flat earther and they told me, well, that's stupid, because I would not think very highly of their opinion, regardless of their profession. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know.
You can understand it more as maps being more important than GPS. You know, I mean, our autonomous vehicles, cars are using Pokemon Go maps and CAPTCHA data instead of GPS triangulation, even if, and I don't know, I mean, shipping on a flat thing works too, just a different angle. So
Okay, but even with the advent of reliable maps, navigating by Polaris was only done as a backup. Like to
Right.
just check that you were in the right place and stuff like that. Like, so what I'm not understanding, I guess, what it comes down to is, I actually believe that most ship captains probably can navigate by Polaris, so I'm not sure where that information is coming from. I'm just saying if I did find out that some of them did not, I don't understand why that would make you not believe anything else that they said.
Well, it would just show a lack of interest in the subject matter. You know, like, because, like, for instance, like one of the easiest things anyone can do is find their latitude using Polaris. Do you know how to do it?
Me? No, I don't have to.
Right. Well, it's just a simple matter. It's like basic, very basic astronomy, even. Like, it's super rudimentary. It's like, how would you not know it, kind of a thing? Like, if you were interested in the subject, because it's just whatever the angle of the height of Polaris is from the horizon is your latitude. So, like, people when they sailed, they would sail across the ocean at a consistent latitude and it would just head to the west and they would make sure that they maintained Polaris at a certain altitude so that they could, you know what I mean? So they knew where they were going to wind up.
Other stars at night, and the
Right.
Vikings
Right.
probably used sunstones during the day.
Well, it wasn't until they used
Sailors
clocks.
suns during the day.
Yep. But it wasn't until they couldn't use really the sun until they learned how to use clocks. So this is like all part of that, like the history of it is, we couldn't really navigate longitude until we figured out how to manufacture clocks. So like longitude was always a bit of a mystery. In fact, there was some discussion about it because
I'm
they wanted
sorry.
to
What couldn't we do until we made clocks?
longitude. We couldn't decipher longitude well enough for proper navigation or precise navigation until we manufactured clocks. Because we had to have that's why we have Greenwich Mean Time, which is like the 0 point in regards to the 360 degrees of what would be the Earth. You know what I mean? Do you know how? Like, do you understand? Like, you know what I mean? How this works? That's why those subtleties in this discussion are interesting when it comes to flat Earth and the globe Earth, because we're making or the globe makes presumptions with this information. Flat Earth does too, but like I'm just saying, like these are presumptions built off of this information. That's why it's intriguing. That's why I can dismiss somebody who doesn't fucking know this shit and that's going to have a degree or whatever they're going to have when it comes to this topic, because if they've not thought it through, then it's hard to have the discussion in the first place. Because like that's all. And I don't mean to. I'm not talking to you or anyone. I'm just saying like the idea that like when we had to have clocks first to really understand longitude and just pick a random position, which happened to be Greenwich, England. That was the 0 point for the time. You know what I mean? So it's just like this, just the kind of basis of the information and the intrigue of it all.
And where did you hear that ship captains don't know how to use Polaris?
Well, that's what I saw. And when I asked the gentleman who I borrowed that book from, I mentioned earlier, which is a very great book, just happened that he was a ship captain. And in discussion with him passing, I just was like, well, what do you think of, like using Polaris and he just didn't know it. He didn't know about it. And I thought that was just like, you're right. He doesn't need to know it for his job. But at the same time, it's the same type of person that would come online and ridicule me and be like, well, I'm a shipping expert. You know what I mean? And then that's all that I'm trying to say.
My question was in two parts. I was trying to gain an understanding of why you felt a reliance on Polaris. But having gone through that, and thank you very much for explaining all that to me. Having gone through that, though, I would find it very hard to believe that there's any legitimate commercial ship captains that do not understand how to use Polaris. Because
That's what I thought.
it's an emergency thing, if nothing else. It's a way to double check that you're on track. If your systems go down, you need to know how to do that. So I would seriously question somebody that said that they were a commercial captain and did not know how to use Polaris.
Well, there's someone who was literally working from their home that made shipping, you know what I mean? Like decide.
You're
Like,
robotic. I'm so sorry. I
actually
didn't
draws
hear.
out that, you know, it was not on a, oh, sorry, like the type of person like not on, it's basically literally drafting shipping lanes. You know, that was what he was doing, you know, so but he had the credentials, a shipping captain, you know, like.
Okay, so he was drafting shipping lanes. He was not sailing himself.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. Yeah, so he needs to know the current shipping lanes and stuff like that, which would not then really need him to know Polaris at all.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's
Yeah,
because of that,
different.
that's because of his use of technology. You know what I mean? He just doesn't need to know.
I mean, just not just technology, but what his job actually is. He's not going to be in a ship at night where something could go wrong and he needs to navigate the ship. He's just working with commercial shipping lanes, which is a completely different thing.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I said, like, it would be like, that's why, like, I feel like sometimes when we argue with people out here, we're arguing people who are like, well, I have a degree in that. And like, but it's like, okay, but you don't know some of this intricate little, you know, some of the nuance that makes
But
this
again,
intriguing.
in this guy's job, he doesn't need to know anything about Polaris. He needs to know all about the shipping lanes and the capacities and the trade winds and stuff like that. Like Polaris would not affect his job whatsoever.
You're right.
So yeah, if somebody with his position told me they didn't know how to use Polaris, there's no issue with that whatsoever.
Yeah, well, he's already contracting for big shipping, you know, big companies like oil, you know, he's already in, like, he would never even know it, you know. But and you know, it wouldn't be of anyone's concern. My only issue is that, like, when like, I didn't broach the subject with them, like flat Earth or anything. I just, I was just curious about his. I was borrowing a really cool book that I was really looking forward to borrow. Like, I couldn't believe that he had the copy of the book because I was looking for the book.
Nice.
And
I'm glad you got it.
right, so it was like really a friendly exchange, and I didn't want to press him on anything, but I was just enamored. Like, I bought a sextant years ago, and like, I was just into him, and I was asking him some questions, and just it came up about Polaris, and he didn't know, and I just thought to myself, like, that's odd that you wouldn't know that. It's just a history of navigation. That's all.
Well, yeah, I mean, if he had been a captain, it would have been odd. If he had been a sailor operating a ship, that would have
Right,
been
but
odd.
it's just like
But he doesn't even have to leave land for what he does. He needs to know, like,
yeah, I know,
his
but like,
job has more to do with the capacity of the shipping lanes.
yeah, that's not. I mean, right, but why? I don't understand why people don't know more shit. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, people cap themselves off with what they're required to know, but I just think of it like I like to know more, and I was just amazed that was such an
Okay.
such an
So
intricate subject.
in his
You know what I mean?
job,
It's
what
not about his
where
job at
would
that point. It's not
where
about
would
his job at that point, though. It's about the subject matter.
Oh, so you just think that because he has his job has to do with ships, he should naturally just want to know about Polaris.
Yeah, because it's such a rudimentary part of it. Like it's so basic that it's just so fucking basic. It's not even up for discussion. It's one of the first things you would ever learn, if you were looking up
So,
navigation.
like, if I worked for a cruise company where we had to schedule the cruises all the time and make sure everything was taken care of and whatnot, and I did marketing for the cruise line and had to do all the commercials and posters and media and stuff like that. Should I know how to use Polaris because I work for a shipping company?
No. I just wouldn't want, I wouldn't entertain like your opinion about flat Earth based off of your credentials as working for a shipping company either. You know what I mean?
Oh, so he was using his information on the shipping lanes to say why he thought the Earth was not flat.
No, actually, we didn't even approach the subject. I didn't bring it up. But my point is that it's people with those kinds of credentials and lack of interest in the actual subject that will come along and say, well, flat Earth is stupid,
Voila. Yeah. And they don't even care.
And so they've got the credentials, but they don't even fucking understand the nuance of what makes the subject matter so intriguing. And that's why it goes over their head and they fucking poo-poo it in the name of their credentials. So they
don't need
miss
to know.
the actual interesting part about what they allegedly have a fucking degree in or something. You know what I mean? So, and that's why it's like mostly like talking to Globers is generally like that for me. I feel like because we get to a point where they just refuse to compensate for the proposition of flat Earth or whatever the subject matter is, and I like because of their inability to understand it, they just call it retarded. Whereas, like, we call the Globers arguments retarded because we understand their position and think it's retarded for obvious reasons once you understand their position. You know what I mean? And then that's what makes fucking what we propose like more. I mean, it's all absurdities. That's what we were getting into earlier. Like, it's what choose your fucking absurdity, pretty much. And that's where the philosophical weight for me gets into the flat Earth takes the wins.
So let me ask, if this hypothetical guy used shipping lanes from California to Japan to say, I work with these shipping lanes all the time. I know the ships go directly from California to Japan. So I know that the earth isn't flat because we can circumnavigate the globe. I know people that work with ships that go across the Atlantic, that there is no break anywhere between all these places. You would then not take his view seriously because he does not know how to measure Polaris or tell where he is from Polaris.
Well, no, I would take what he has to say about something like that I thought was legit. I would take it into consideration, or like I'd understand like maybe why does he use or why does he have to calculate in the Haversine formula, or does he have to calculate in the Haversine formula? Does he not calculate it in, and it still works out? Are his maps maybe skewed differently than normal maps that we look at? You know what I mean? Like those are the questions I'd want to pick his brain on. You know what I mean? Because he might come out and say, yeah, well, we use a different set of maps. We don't use the WSG84 maps. We use these maps. You know what I mean? There's like a whole. That would be subject matter to pick his brain on. But the context of the information that he might present to me might mean something different than it would mean to him presenting it. You know what I mean? And he might want to shit on the way that I look at the information he's looking at because of his way that he uses that information, which I'd have to grant him his right to do so, right? Because he's using it every day. But I don't necessarily have to believe it either. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. I'm not good at prevaricating. So no, I personally, if I'm talking to somebody whose job it is to get ships from one place to another, and they do their job well, and all these ships get back and forth without any major accidents, which we don't really have happen anymore. I mean, they happen, yes, but they don't happen with frequency. So I would tend to accept their knowledge on the subject. So if they told me that, okay, yes, we do use a special map because we have to account for the currents and the shipping lanes and things like that, which you and I would not have a map with the shipping lanes on it normally. He's going to have a map with the shipping lanes on it. So he may use a different map. That wouldn't bug me at all. And I would still be able to accept his qualifications based on the fact that the transportation system for ships generally works.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
So what up? Can you afford such trust for all professionals? Lawyers, used car salesmen, what else? Bankers. You afford this trust to all professionals?
Well,
politicians.
Like you
afford this trust to politicians?
You don't do your homework? I would never hire a lawyer without looking into their case rates. I would never.
It's got nothing to do with it. You know that they're professional with their case rates.
I would never use a bank without looking into their history. Like, I don't know what got you you're going for. So you're going to have to spell it out for me.
Yeah, I get it. I got to spell a lot of things out around here. So just checking, your basis for trusting someone is because that's their job. That's what you said so far. And I said profession.
That is not what I said.
No, it's pretty nuanced.
Correct me?
Well, we were getting into a nuanced situation. I was talking about a guy that I met one time. It was specific to that. She wasn't going in on anything like that. So we were just talking about like an incident I had regarding a dude that I borrowed a book from, who was a shipping guy. And she's just saying, and she's right to say so, like, because within reason, like, I would agree with you. Like, I totally would accept what that dude's telling me because of his profession. But at a certain point, I might also have well, we were talking about shipping lanes, and this guy who was a captain that I knew, who drafted shipping lanes, but he was, certified captain and all this type shit, but he wasn't familiar about how to use Polaris to get his latitude. When I kind of quizzed him on it, or just asked him, and he didn't know about it, and I just thought that was interesting that he would be a captain, and et cetera, and and not know such a kind of novel, rudimentary kind of knowledge about navigation. And this lady, forgive me, I don't really know you. We were just talking because she was saying, I was saying that I don't know if I would trust his opinion on a lot of flat Earth shit because he didn't know about Polaris. But if it came to shipping or something like that, like it's completely well within reason to totally accept what he says to be the truth. I can grant that too. So that's all that is. She's not like saying that you got to listen to all the doctors or anything. She's not going there.
Oh, yes, she is. I know this one. She's definitely saying that.
What's up?
Isaac, do you know that it is not mandatory anymore for the ship's crew to have one guy who can do celestial navigation? In IMO regulation, now it is not even mandatory to bring a sextant on board.
No shit. That's fucking crazy. That they would rely on it that much and not even bring a sextant on board? What do you mean?
Yeah, because come on, there is redundancy and there is a lot of other systems that are able to give you your position. You have the GPS, and after you have the GMDSS, who are able to get your location also. There is
That's
more
like
systems.
that's like in America them not teaching cursive anymore. You know what I mean? Like they don't teach them like certain kinds of language anymore. Like I think that's wrong. It sucks that they would do that. I think. I
It
mean,
is.
you know,
It is. It is. It is. It is a knowledge who is lost. You have only, I think, it is Norway flag, who is still mandatory for the crew to have a sextant and everything, but that is just more because they go to north routes and they have, they want to have the celestial plotting to be available if they lost the coverage with GPS and stuff like that.
that's crazy though. Like what military? You're saying it's like just Norway that's like still got sextants, or what about like? I mean, U.S. probably still does, right?
I don't know. It has been a long time. I didn't build the ships for the American, but not so long ago I made one for the Norwegian, and I have to go to all the equipment and all the things you have to do. And Norway was still mandatory to have a sextant on board.
No shit. That's interesting. What's up, brother? How you doing, by the way?
Oh,
Respect.
good. It's lunchtime.
Nice. How cool. That's cool, man. Yeah, that's crazy that some places wouldn't even have a sextant on board because, like, I wonder. It's like it's like just yeah. Why would they? It's like a waste of time to almost train these kids, especially if
Yes,
especially if they're retarded. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just
no,
easier to tell them to drive a ship and hold the
but
motorboat that way.
even before, not all the crew know how to make a plot. You might
Right.
have the captain, the second officer, and perhaps one other guys
At
was doing
least.
way to do the plot. But mainly, you ask the chief engineer, we have no clue how to make a plot.
Yep. I believe it. Well, yeah. That's just so crazy. Like we've abandoned. It's funny when I think like about even how much like when we're leaving the paper world for the digital world, like the idea that people are not going to know how to do long division, like they're just going to have calculators, and like the idea that we would forget those things. Like imagine if technology slipped away, we'd just be lost.
But even something will scare you more. Paper map are no more mandatory also on board. As long
That
as you have two different systems who are able to display chart, you don't have to have paper copy on board.
I mean, I get it. Like it makes sense because you could use radar or something else. You know what I mean? Like I get it. But like just the idea that you wouldn't have that fail safe,
It's
like
called EGDIS. If you want to search it, you look at EGDIS, electronic chart display integrated system.
okay, thank you. Interesting.
That's all I want to say.
Yeah, thank
Have a
you.
good time.
Hey, yeah,
Yeah,
brother. You too. Enjoy the lunch, brother. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's it. It's like, we've just been removed from, even in this profession, you would think that would have fucking like access or knowledge. Like people aren't even intrigued by it anymore. I'm sure you get like a couple nerds here and there, but like that's what gets you is like, that's why flat earth is
don't,
so fucking legit, is
you
because
don't need to know. Yeah,
what is it?
you don't need to know it. I mean,
Right.
in the
If you
modern system, yeah.
right, but like even like but like it's like kind of saying like, well, you don't need to know about history. You just need to go vote.
Right. So, but then you don't, and then you forget you can't stand up for history.
Well,
Like,
yeah, you
oh no,
repeat. You're doomed to repeat yourself. You
or
know
no,
what I
and
mean?
then so you don't have an authority on the subject that it's like, oh no, well I work in the industry. Well, the industry doesn't care about it. Yeah. So your point. I'm
Right.
impressed, bro. You didn't miss a beat with the accent. Not that on the French, but yeah, just impressive. I guess good
Uh,
communication there. I guess maybe.
I lived in New York City, bro.
No, it did. Yeah, it's not hard really, but a lot of people freak out. So that's a
You
good
know
nod to
what the
you, right?
French told you?
You yeah, go ahead.
I have an accent. You have an accent. Everybody has an accent.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I
Well,
come.
Yeah, it
Sometimes it's
shows
difficult
he's
for me to understand some people.
well. No, you speak perfect English, but a lot of people would like. Well, I don't know. I mean, it just shows that he's a good, good
Yeah,
thinking skill.
for the English, it's like the way the French speak. It is a little bit difficult to interpret for some of them, man, for sure. But yeah, but I feel like you're like Moroccan or something, you know?
Doesn't
Uh,
matter. I didn't.
no,
Doesn't
no,
matter.
no, no. But like like there's I have no idea. Like the but yeah, like that. Yeah, the accent for sure, man. But
Well, it's yeah. You're sophisticated, Isa, is what I'm saying. You know.
hey, thanks, man. But yeah, it's like funny. Like I was talking about like you know, gas pressure and atmospheric pressure earlier today with some total globetards. And just like the example of like, you know, it's like, you know, just the idea of what flat earth is, like it's like you can put like propane in a tank and like you have the dense thing becomes liquid at the bottom and then there's gas on top. It's like a complete microcosm of the earth. You know, a pressurized container with a gradient, you know, and like it's we have a microcosm of that. And like, you know, we kind of point that out and we're like, wow, this is interesting. Maybe this has something to do with the way that we're, you know, atmospheric pressure works. And all we get is you're a retarded flat earther. And it's like, what? Like, if there was a rational response, like flat earth would never have, like, you know what I mean? If people were like, yeah, that's right, but we also have, like, it was explained in a better way. Like, it's like Globers made flat earth, you know? I don't know. Just musing. Where was the lady I was talking before?
Yeah. Well, I dispute a little bit that our shipping is more sophisticated. You know, we obviously have a bit of a hint of a trading history and, you know, long-term shipping, Chinese ships, huge ships.
The biggest ships? Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't even. I mean, shoot. I think. What was I? I was watching some like war documentary where it was like the Germans. Like somebody in the U.S. Army got a cake delivered to them, and it was still fresh, and that's when they realized that they were going to lose the war. Because like
Or
our
shit.
fucking like the infrastructure of like delivering shit was too good.
That's a good. Yeah. I don't think I've heard that.
Yeah, he said like this guy got a fresh cake. You know what I mean? Like they delivered him a fresh cake from his like wife back in Kentucky, and we're over here fucking eating fucking dried beans, you know, from our government. Like you know, the
Yeah.
fucking
Listen,
the
we're
shipping on
hot
their end
man.
is gonna be killing us, man.
Anyway, good points. The clock, you know, making the day work with the night. Because you watch that shipping time lapse, man, the night times. It's just that's just what they did. They would at night they'd check, they'd see what was going on, and then just follow a compass.
Well, that's what pirates used to do was hang out on the latitude lines that they knew all the shipping was going through.
Yeah, but pirates were for the people that ran the shipping.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
would
like,
just wait. They wait on like I think it was like the 72nd or something line, or I don't know why, not that high. I forget why I think that number, but there was like a latitude line that the pirates would hang out on, and they would fucking snag up all the ships because everyone going across, like they stuck to Polaris being at a certain latitude or altitude,
yeah,
and you know that was how they crossed, and like the pirates would fucking wait for them. And that's why they figured out longitude, and that's why it was such a great thing because they could then go off course of the lines of latitude and still have like a projection of where they were going.
with the pirates and then
when
corner the
you have to
market.
avoid pirates, etc. And like, that's where like that's how they started being able to go. It's a cool story. There's like a little documentary even, I think, on like
Yeah, but
YouTube about it.
the information, the knowledge is like ancient, so it's like controlling who knew it, and
Well,
this.
what's crazy is Sir Isaac Newton fought against the guy who was making the clock. So he was trying to fucking have his idea be the way, and he wanted to use the moons of Jupiter to be able to decipher longitude based
Aren't
on
there 72 of those or something?
something like something with the shadows, or there was like a couple moons that he used that where he was trying to determine their pattern could tell you the longitude line. And but he was like active, you think of Isaac Newton, but he was fighting the guy who was trying to make the clock
Yeah,
to
that
so that
sounds like a flat Earth model.
yeah, or something, who knows? I often wonder, because what's interesting with that book I was talking about earlier, Nathaniel Bowditch, is there's a book that he revised, and I've often wondered if within that other book, because Nathaniel Bowditch was like this kind of like savant, like genius who like recalibrated all of the works in the previous book that was the American Practical Navigator or whatever. I forget the name of it, but that's what Bowditch's book is called. And it's basically a revision of this previous work. And I often wondered if that previous work didn't have within it some flat earth references or something, because it was so heavily revised by Bowditch that like, probably, I mean, the celestial sphere is really a fucking, uh, marvel of mankind. So it's like, it's hard to shit on that aspect of the globe because the celestial sphere is the most valid part of it.
Exactly, like the globe, the sphere of the celestial sphere. That's like where globes came from, kind of. They were like what it was.
Well, I think
like
that's
the
what's,
side, but also projected on the globe. So whatever.
well, what's crazy is like like the Freemasons, they write about the square and the compass. And so the square in their writings was for measuring the earth, which the ancients believed to be flat. And the compass was for measuring the stars, which was to be able to get the angle of the star. So they recognized the sphericity of the earth, of the sky, which they also said was the soul, and they thought the earth was the body of mankind. And so that's where like the whole paradox situation really is what it's all about, because even like the Freemasons wrote about this paradox. Like I've kind of come up with this, what I think of like as a Zen koan for the shape of Earth, which is like, you live on an infinite plane contained by a celestial sphere.
Right.
So it's like, it's a complete it's paradoxical the whole way through, man. So
Right, but then it's figured out without a sphere map involved of the Earth,
well,
and
it's just
so
like,
to say that figuring out the Earth helped. Okay, like I
well,
don't
I
think
think
so.
like materialists have to have the sky tell them what the Earth is. Like materialism
Yeah.
necessitates that, dude. So like, it's
Well,
like materialism also like the old like square and compass, it recognized the distinction between the soul and the body, whereas like modern man is such a materialist, there is no distinction. They don't have a soul. They're just electrical shit flowing in their body. Like they don't have the materialist mind does not make the distinction between the soul and the body, and it can't make the distinction between the stars and the earth.
that's why this Mars stuff isn't what they're saying. It's not as described. Maybe.
Well, I mean, it's just like I think light is just malleable. Light is more movable than like solid Earth. So like it makes sense that like light would be more. I don't know, like just I don't know. It just seems like light would be more bendable, deceptive. I don't know. That's just. I think light has those characteristics. So like using light to determine um, the shape of the Earth might not be. I mean, I think it's a great theory. I like the globe in that regard, but I just still reserve my fucking opinion that that's what we live on. I don't think that's what we live on, you know. Man, I'm fucking zoning out.
Well, and now light is coming from sound, basically. Somehow.
I was kind of like the sololuminescence kind of idea of like the stars or something.
Yeah, and just the kind of cymatics or just the frequency of everything. And so our science is very molecular, but anyway, I mean, I think, yeah, you made a good point about the celestial sphere and square in a circle, and just like people thinking just different models for, and really smart leaders, talking about what Earth was. It's like 200 years ago at the most when we were debating this. And now it's just like, oh,
Well, I
thank
think
God we.
the offense is that like they're saying they went to the moon. Like, you know, and that's like to me, I think the thing
Yeah,
that's the
no, but I
most.
mean, like, you could be at the top of society and still think the Earth was like an egg yolk with the sun is in the middle of a hollow. That's like Jacob Astor's
Oh,
model.
right, like 200 years ago, you mean? Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, not even, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, sure,
Like,
sure.
but to say all this modern stuff is built on that, it's like, well, that's the Titanic time. So I guess they ran into an iceberg in the middle of the Atlantic.
Hey, Issa, good to see you, man. You ever geek out and look into Noah's readings about and charts or anything like that? Spend some time on that.
No, like the star, the what is that? The air,
Okay.
atmospheric something group or something, right? Or what is that? NOAA, right?
Yeah, it's National Ocean Atmospheric Administration. So they're
That's
like the authority of traveling the oceans. Interesting stuff when it comes to the Arctic. And remember reading that do not assume that the land would be close just because you can see it. It could be up to 300 miles away. That's like, okay, that's impressive.
that's interesting. Yeah, you know what? It's like I mean, to me, it's like Artemis leaving on April Fools. It's like it's just everywhere, man. Like I just think like you know they have to. I don't know, man. That's interesting. No matter how far away it is.
The other thing is they show the magnetic anomalies with the compass. You were talking about them learning how to do all that, but their lines in longitude, latitude are 90 degrees. But the magnetic anomalies are unique and definitely a phenomena that is unexplained as far as I'm concerned. Why does
Dude,
North drift in these locations? Why does North drift in these locations?
well, dude, this is why like you got to respect like even declination, like the idea that we would even have the wherewithal to put all that together. Like you know what I mean? Like the idea that you would fucking, you know what I mean, to know to correct your course based off of that magnetic reading, based off of this time of year, based off of your longitude. Like that's fucking
Right.
cool. That's just
Yes.
so cool. How fucking wild is that?
Well,
That
and
we
your life depends on it, right? Like you're lost at sea. How many
right, but
times?
how? Yeah, just
People don't come
that.
back a lot.
Well, that's what gets me. It's like some people just poo-poo this. Like, well, why would they want to know? Why would they need to? It's like, what do you mean? This is like the most interesting shit in the world. Like, what are you talking about? The fucking magnetic north moves and it changes based off of your latitude. Like, I don't know, man. I just think that's like how cool that we have like books that fucking will tell you how much calculation you have to fucking correct for. Like I just think it's all fucking cool.
And how the atmosphere is affecting your experience. Like registering, hey man, don't trust your senses in this situation because shit's going to appear a lot further away. I think that it's so important as a boat navigator to know how long things are going to take and how far things away are, so you don't make your journey any longer than it has to be.
Shit, especially if you got like the right amount of fuel, or whatever. Like, yeah, it's fucking, yeah, it's crazy.
And all the winds that affect it, right? Like in the currents, like studying the atmosphere, barometric pressures. That's why they got the whole ocean filled with buoys now. So they're monitoring all those buoys too. Like that's part of their gig.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's just cool. I think, but I just don't. It's weird how like all of that shit can exist. Like I was talking to somebody earlier about like getting Starlink, and they were like, "Well, you don't believe in satellites, And I was like, "No, it's like there's just possibly an alternative, explanation of it, kind of thing." And I think like we could still map everything. We could still fucking. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I'm tripped out. What trips me out is the wind pattern maps that we used to have from like what were they called? Oh man, the fuck. They changed the map. They took away the azimuthal equidistant one. Why can't the fuck? What was the map with the wind patterns, dude? Fucking. Oh man, this is gonna piss me off.
I'm not sure what map you're referring to.
I know with
Someone,
arrows, right? Like, but I don't know.
someone in here knows. I know.
Yeah, Issa, I remember. And when people found out flat earthers were using it, remember they disabled that feature?
Yeah, they disabled the azimuthal. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, wasn't it Bob Wins?
Wins.
No, there was another one. Why can't
Is
I
it
think it?
It's not the Mercator projection, right?
No, it's
Gio just tagged you. The null school. Earth
yeah,
stuff.
null school maps. Thank you, Geo. The null school map. And so like this map shows like the wind patterns, and like if you look at it on the sphere, it looks retarded. The wind patterns, and like it just looks so chaotic and ridiculous. And then when you put all the wind patterns on the azimuthal equidistant projection, which they've removed,
It looks like a jacuzzi. Yeah.
it look right. It looks like a fucking like a thing you've seen 1,000 times before, and it's just like it makes more sense than the globe. Like the globe is like, oh no, it would make a left over here because that's what we expect it to do. It's like what?
That's
Like it
true.
just makes no
Issa,
fucking.
actually, I spoke to a PhD professor, and I asked him if he could steel man the jet stream on the flat Earth, and he couldn't. I had to explain it to him, and by the time I was finished, he actually said, he thanked me for it because he said no one laid it out for him. But essentially, it was because of the sun driving the wind, etc.
Yeah, I mean, think of all the shit we've had to tolerate about, like, oh, well, the rotation of the Earth makes the wind move. It's like, what? It's like, we've had to cipher through so much fucking shitty arguments, and
Oh, for sure.
it's kind of crazy. Like, after like 600 L's, like these people have taken, Like, I remember when they used to come in and be like, the Baumgarten footage from Red Bull is proof of curvature. Like we had to fight that at one point. You know what I mean? Like, we had to educate these motherfuckers about that.
Right, and
Yeah, the
like,
Nat
oh,
Geo, the PBS, NASA.
Like that's
it's like,
crazy
oh,
that we would have had to like after that go home. Like you failed on that. Like
and
you
now it's like, oh, it's been 10 years and you still haven't proved us wrong. It's like,
right, yeah, great point. Great fucking point. Like, oh,
oh,
you
man,
guys never win your
made it.
arguments. It's like, wait, what? We've had to fucking get your arguments. We've made your arguments 1,000 times better. You know what I
Yeah, we'll
mean?
give you 2 years and then it's over. No,
Right. Yeah. Or like, shit. I mean, even NASA had to adjust and like, I think, because I forget what it was, but it was something hot button in the flat Earth community. And then NASA comes out and says, oh, no. Oh, yeah. No, that's what it was. It was rockets don't work in a fucking vacuum. And then it comes out the moon is in Earth's atmosphere. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that will explains why. And then now they all say, well, it's not a perfect vacuum, So that's why it has, like, it's
no, man,
just
and
like,
like, let's see all the video that was recorded, or like most of it. Anything declassified, maybe hours of it, but no, we just got their clips and interviews or whatever.
of what now?
Well, just video from the last mission or the one before it. Just kind of release all of it, like anything you got.
Oh,
Let's see, 20 cameras plus or whatever. Just anything recorded on digital drives.
I just love that everyone out there, like, because I love going, I hang out with the Globers kind of just to fight them sometimes. But, like, the idea that, oh, what the fuck was I going to say? Like, oh, God, I had an idea I was going to say.
Well, video or
Oh,
nobody.
yeah. That's, I think you were right on the money. Forgive me. It's like, oh, yeah, that's what it was. Just the idea that so many people are calling Artemis fake. You know what I mean? Like, so many fucking people are like, and I was telling tell the Globers, I was like, what a sad day it will be, if let's say you're right, let's say the Earth is a globe, like you're gonna wake up in a world surrounded by flat earthers that you created, you fucking retards, because you just wouldn't have an honest discussion when it fucking got started. So like, let's say the Earth is like, I mean, what a dystopic thing, because like, if the Earth be a sphere, but they defended it so poorly that everyone becomes flat earthers. It's just like that's idiocracy, you know what I mean? If the earth is a sphere, right? Because like, they totally dropped the ball on the argument and they're gonna wake up surrounded by people who
Yeah,
just and hate them, you know?
well, I think the real ball dropped was that they like shut it down. Like people were just like, oh no, whatever. And then I was even saying like, all right, 5, 10 more years, dude. And then like, then talk to me. And it's been 10 plus. And then now this happens and it's like, yeah, that's bullshit. And then
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
like,
like, oh, I remember you saying that, because they do remember it. It's not, I'm not, it's because they definitely had reactions to it. Yeah, but
oh
it's
dude,
a
the
different.
April 1st is a killer for them. Because everyone's like, come on, really?
The movie they made like recently about, it was like Capricorn 1 for the moon, and they're like, oh, we should get Kubrick. I'm like, I forgot what the movie was called. It was like a comedy. It's like a romance comedy, but and like it was like an undercover fake moon mission, and they called it Artemis, like spelled differently.
Yeah, I think I've heard of this. It was like actually the old movie actually or something, right? It was
No, Capricorn 1 is, but they made it. It came out like maybe a year plus, 2 years ago. I forgot the actress.
oh, there you go. Huh. Are
Yeah,
you
they just
talking
made like
about? I think I know what you're talking. It's
it
not
was
called Capricorn One though, but I
it's
think I
called
know the movie.
Slimy to the Moon, I think.
Oh,
Check it
huh.
out. Got overshadowed by like some other huge bullshit movie. I just some Hail Mary project, whatever. So
I know.
not by choice. Really. Well, forget it. But I mean, I just saw it in some YouTube short where they're like, "Oh, here's another Artemis thing." Like they brought up Artemis, and I'm not that it's Apollo's twin or Easter, pretty much goddess of Easter. But whatever.
That's a
Yeah,
If
the
you
movie
just
Fly Me to the Moon. Fly Me to the Moon.
if you just talked about the ritual of the dates and the full moon and blood moons and all that, like it'd be enough to kind of be like, wait, what's going on? It's all science. It's all up and up budget.
Yeah, I like that Trump was on the fucking call with him and he's like, what is it, like a 9-second delay? Like
Dude, exact. That's all. And
I
then
love him, dude. He's the greatest president ever, dude. Oh, he's just exposing everything, dude. Everything is getting shit on by Trump. I love it.
it like makes everyone ask the question.
Oh, he does, dude. It's so great.
Starlink, like when he's like, I didn't even know what that was. He knew exactly. Like he's like, oh, Elon helped out with Starlink. God, I didn't even know what Starlink was. Like,
So
What's
fucking
even
great.
funnier? He's like, "Isn't this a 9 second delay?" And then they
Yeah,
respond, and 1 second later, he
yeah,
responds.
exactly. He dropped it on him like, yo, you fucking fake fucking waste of tech dollars, motherfuckers.
yeah,
Ah,
and
it's
ask
so
the time.
funny.
Dude, same as the Forbidden City with Xi Jinping. He's like, how old is it? And the translator's like, it was just
Yeah, I like
same.
when he was sitting there, the one line where he's like, well, you guys didn't give us a warning about Pearl Harbor, did you?
That was.
Talking like the
I think
Japanese
it's,
prime minister, and somebody asked a question about, well, are you
yeah,
going to tell him when he's going to? He's like, well, you guys didn't tell us when he fucking bombed Pearl Harbor. Holy
and then
shit,
he
dude.
kind of beats it up too. He definitely is
Uh,
kind of old
he's the
too, but
fucking best. Dude, I
it's
love it. I love that nigga. He's like the greatest president ever, dude. He's the only
the fool.
president I've ever liked in my life. Oh, he's
Where
fucking
nobody gets that, but I'm not trying to convince anybody.
dude. I mean, I just think of it like, he's like a flat earther that made it, and like he's got bad press. Everybody's telling everyone I was retarded.
And then
You know what I mean?
people,
He's like a flat earther that's just made it, and like they're just
and they
still
go
like,
play
this is what
against him,
happens to you when you become a flat earther and you're successful. Is newspapers hate you. The
and then
anti-flat earthers are like, the Democratic Party. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
yeah, like you age well, and then like you want to go all in against them, and your 20-year media is in disgrace, and
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
they're literally arguing like they do exactly what the Globers do, which is they freak out and then wonder why nobody joins them. You know what I mean? They're like, "But I told you the truth," and everyone's like, "You're crazy, dude." And the flat earther just walks on, and they fake another fucking moon landing shit, and everyone's like, "That's fake." And then you get a bunch of radical lefties that are like, "We went to the moon again. Oh my god, how could you deny it?" It's like, oh.
no, and the timeline is 28, right? So it's all supposed to happen under Trump.
Yeah, Trump's fucking interesting, dude. What's crazy is I think the Strait of Malacca is the next news. He's gonna cut
Yeah,
off
Why do
China.
you
He's
he's
gonna.
why do you
Taiwan.
think the moon landing was fake?
What's that?
Why do you think the moon landing was fake?
Because
The
only a
original,
crackhead. Only a crackhead would think it wasn't.
That's not a very good answer.
Well, that's why.
I mean, genuinely, like, convince me it was fake.
Well, like the idea that I mean, I don't know. I mean, how serious? Like, I find it to be. I find the premise that we live on a rock floating through space to be a little ridiculous. I find it weird. I find it ridiculous that we would be able to count on orbital mechanics to like slingshot us anywhere. I find the footage of the moon landing to be completely absurd. Uh, I think that they're.
What's wrong with the footage?
It just looks like it was filmed in a studio. It doesn't look legit to me.
I mean, but
Pictures
if
are
that, but that's
You know.
like an interesting thing to say, because if you look at the footage closely and you look at what was occurring in that footage, the only way it could be in a studio is if the studio had no atmosphere and had far less gravity than Earth. So I mean, I'm not
okay.
sure what kind of studio could produce those
Well,
results.
like for
How do you
instance, like
wait? Why do you said he said two claims there that there would have to be no atmosphere. How are you determining that from the footage?
You can look at the footage and you can look at the way the dust behaves coming off. The dust behaves coming off the wheels, and the way that the dust behaves, and the way that the dust behaves is not the same as the way the dust behaves in gravity. There's a massive difference. If you've got in atmosphere, it behaves in a totally different way.
right, but you could do that with cinematic tricks too, though. You know.
Could you in like the
Yeah.
70s or 60s?
Yeah. Yeah.
We were actually
Yeah.
just discussing this, by the way, Rick, on a different a while back.
I'm
Have you ever
not
heard
sure
of
if you
sodium
could.
vapor? Have you heard of sodium vapor wavelength in terms of like it's like sodium? This is what Disney pioneered basically. I think the guy's name was AbEast. So if you look at like the movie Mary Poppins back then, they had motion blur, they had transparent things you could see. They're dancing on cartoons, etc. So people were wondering, like, what the heck? How are they able to do that? Because if you were able to do that with the green screen or blue screen today, you would see all those compression issues, etc. It'd be super hard to do. So what they did was they actually had this technology called the traveling matte technology, where they used a specific wavelength of yellow light. It's like 589 nanometers. It's a very specific wavelength. And they had this thing called a prism that was invented by, like I said, iWorks, who at the very same time the film was being recorded, it was splitting the film onto two different film. It basically split the film into two different films. Essentially, one had a negative, and then one had the actual color of the actors involved. And what they would do is they'd take that negative and basically, do all the animations in the background, and then just transpose it back onto where the color was, and that's how you had seamless transition. So I mean, the technology to fake salt and moon dust and stuff like that was possible back then.
I'm not sure if that's true.
If I could
Faking,
show you
faking.
that to be true, would
Well, you know
you
what gets
then
me
reconsider?
real quick. So you find
Hang on.
it. Hold on,
Faking,
hold on, real
faking.
quick. You find completely fucking somebody using
You
different
say you
frequencies of
robot.
light. Oh, you would say that like, you got in my back. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt
you're
you
back.
too, but just to fucking do that. But like, you think it's ridiculous that somebody would use like light frequencies and a little bit of dust. You think that's ridiculous, but you think somebody sent a rocket and rode around on the fucking moon is just totally take that serious. You think that
No,
has more fucking validity, dude?
no. That's.
That's
Do you want to
retarded as fuck
repeat
to
what I
me,
said?
dude.
No, repeat what I said. Don't make up something else and say what I think. Repeat what I said.
Well, no, you said that you don't believe it, right?
Hello?
Check 1 2. Sorry, I'm in and
I
out.
can hear
You
him.
said you don't.
I can hear
You
both of
said
you.
you don't. You said you don't believe it. Is what you said.
Is
When
it?
he
Is that what
proposed.
I said? I don't believe it. Is that what I said? Was that my exact words?
He said he doesn't think it's true that you're able to fake it back then.
Right. I
Using
said
that
I'm not
dust.
sure if that's true.
But if I can
Right.
show you that it was possible,
If you can show me, and we're talking about a very specific thing here. We're not talking about showing me that Mary Poppins was true, because I know that Mary Poppins came out in '64. I don't need you to show me that. I need to see someone mimicking dust so that dust appears fall as if there was no gravity on Earth in 1960s technology, or 1960s technology.
Okay.
And also with gravity that is less than the gravity of Earth.
Okay, you're making a
Yep.
lot of assumptions before, like, first of all, you
Not
don't
again,
know what the
assumptions.
gravity is if it's a studio. If it's a studio, it's just normal Earth gravity. Number one. Number two,
Exactly.
you said slow motion dust that could easily be done by
I didn't say
adjusting.
slow motion dust.
Okay, well, what are you saying?
I'm saying that the trajectory, the arc, and the behavior of the dust was not consistent with Earth's gravity.
He's talking
The
about the
illusion.
parabolic arc of the dust, right? But he's probably just reading a script, dude, from ChatGPT or something. He doesn't realize that. Yeah, because that's usually because this years ago. I remember looking this up, and that's the first thing that ChatGPT will bring up to try to act like you can't replicate that, right? With film tricks.
By all
We
means,
don't.
show me how you could replicate it with 1960s
Well, this is the
technology.
thing. We have like movies of space. We have movies of like, you ever watch Pitch Black? Like there's movies of human beings on other planets. Obviously Hollywood could fake this. The
I'm not sure if I've
question
seen
right
Pitch
now
Black.
is the question
Black,
right now is whether we could fake it in this
1969.
whether hold on, dude. The question right now is whether we could fake it in the 60s if Hollywood had film tricks able to replicate this process, right? Of the parabolic arc. That's what your presupposition. Your presupposition is that Hollywood did not have the capability of faking this in the 60s. We know they have it today. We have movies of them faking it today, right? So we know that's possible today. So the question boils down to, did they have the technology in the 60s? Yes or no? Right?
No, I'm not convinced they've got it today, but if you'd like to demonstrate that, you're welcome to.
You're not convinced that Hollywood has the techniques to fake the moon landing, but yet we can't even get back to the moon?
What's your question?
You don't think they have the techniques today to fake it, the moon landing?
I'm open to be for that to be demonstrated. If you'd like to demonstrate it, I'd be interested to see.
Yeah, dude, we definitely have the technology, dude. Come on, man.
Okay, show me.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the latest Hollywood flick. Hold on.
I mean, it's very specific what you're going to have to demonstrate, though. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah, the lunar dust taking a parabolic arc.
No,
I
it's
know
got to
what you're
be the
talking about, dude.
exact right parabolic arc, and it's got to be
Yeah,
falling in
based
the
off
exact right way.
Yeah, based off of the lunar gravity. Yeah, we get it, dude.
And the lack of atmosphere. Both of those things are going to have to be demonstrated.
How would you demonstrate lack of atmosphere with footage?
That's what I'm saying. That was my
You're asking
question.
for an unreasonable request.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. How am I supposed to demonstrate to you lack of atmosphere with footage alone?
So, for example, if you have a feather that falls at the same rate as a bowling ball, that is good evidence of lack of atmosphere.
I'm saying if I find like a AI replication, right, or some type of CGI or Hollywood footage of the moon, right, moon atmosphere, lunar dust, how are we supposed to show you that there's no atmosphere there?
Well, you're not showing me there's no atmosphere, but you're demonstrating that the dust and the behavior of objects in that footage are the same as the conditions reported to be on the moon.
Yeah, that all I need is to show you the parabolic arc, right? So if there's some type of
Same parabolic
rover,
arc.
or if the people walking around, yeah, it would match the lunar gravity, which is 1/4 the Earth's gravity, correct?
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, sure.
Okay.
If you can show
All right,
me the first step is showing me that it can be done today. That's the
Show
first
us a
step.
picture. Show us
And
a
then the next
picture
step
is not
that
bullshit.
it can be done
Photoshop.
in the late 60s. Big difference. One saying it can be done today. I'm not totally convinced it can be, but I'm open to being proven wrong. The second one, which is the real one, is showing me that it can be done in the 60s.
You're saying it's easier to go to the moon, right? Than it is to fake it. Because if you're saying we can't even
It's not about
replicate it
ease.
today, not only weren't we not able to replicate it in the 60s, we can't even replicate it today. So it's harder to fake the moon landing than to actually go to the moon. That's what you're saying?
It's not about ease.
Hey, I got a question.
Answer the
Is
question,
that
dude.
cat?
Answer the
Hold
question.
on. Is that cat really in space? The picture I
Clearly
just put
not.
in the
That's
chat.
clearly not. That's clearly not.
Why? Why do you? What do you mean? What do you mean it's not fucking? I sent my cat up to space, dude.
Yeah, cool. All
Evidence
right.
of
I
it.
don't talk to you because you literally have no way of engaging meaningfully with me. So sit down.
Okay, so are you interested, or you just want to defend what
He said
is
that
so
we
obvious?
can't prove it today.
Yeah, well,
I
they
didn't say
can't take a
prove it.
picture that isn't just fake, Photoshop, easy, anyone can look at, and they joke. But I like it, dude.
What I'm saying is I'm requesting
Kind of don't.
to demonstrate it to me. If you're saying that it can be demonstrated with today's technology, by all means, demonstrate it.
Okay, can you answer
Does
my
not
question
fit.
though? You're saying it's easier to actually go to the moon than to fake it in the studio.
Today or in the 60s?
At all, because you say we can't fake it in the 60s, we can't fake it today, but yet we were able to actually go to the moon. So it's easier to actually go to the moon than to fake it. That's what you're
Well, I said
saying.
I'm not sure if it could be done today. I'm not sure if
Sure,
Yeah,
but
so yeah, exactly. So you don't even think it's possible. You're not even sure. You're skeptical that it can even be replicated or faked, right? So it's easier, that has entailments. It's easier to actually go to the moon. That's
we've been
235,000 miles away, right? Flying through space. You're saying that's easier,
we've been to the moon.
hypothetically speaking.
Iron, you're killing this guy right now. He's like totally spurging out. He's like, but
wait,
we've been to the moon. But
Well,
we've
I
been
mean,
what
to
you're
the
is
asking me a
moon.
question. I believe that we've been to the moon, so I believe that that's possible. I'm not convinced that it's possible to fake it with 1969 technology. I'm open to
just
be
in the vacuum?
demonstrated that it can be demonstrated that the moon landing was fakeable today. I haven't seen it. I've never seen footage that shows it. I'm asking if you can please show me it. I've never seen it. Please show me it if it exists.
Yeah, but okay, but you don't believe it's even possible.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Show me it. I'm
Have
asking
you
Yeah,
you.
you're not
seen?
I don't
sure.
know.
Exactly. You're not sure. You're skeptical, i.e., you don't believe. You're
No, no, no.
still
I
you're
just
still
don't know.
skeptical of
I
it
don't
being
know.
replicated today.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't
I've never
know.
seen it.
You don't know. So you're not
Show me.
confident. You're not sure. You're not
Yeah,
confident. You're
show
not
me.
sure. That means you
Yeah,
don't. Yeah,
show
you
me.
don't really believe that it's possible.
No, I believe it's possible to go to the moon. I'm not sure
No,
if
I'm
it's
saying
possible
to
to fake
fake
the
it, dude.
footage.
To fake it, dude. To
Yeah,
fake
I'm
it.
not sure.
Come
I
on,
don't know.
stick,
What do you want me to
dude.
say? I don't
Stop,
know.
bro.
What the fuck's
Yeah,
wrong
you
with you,
don't
man? I
know.
don't know. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so you're
show me.
skeptical. You're skeptical
No,
of it being
no.
I got
replicated
an I-
today. You're
Show
not
me.
sure.
Show me.
I got an
Show me.
idea.
Show me.
I got an
Show
idea.
me. Show me.
Okay, instead of we just show me, show me, show me. Okay, let's not be gay. All right, check this out, Rick. I want to hear the best evidence as to why you think is real. Like, what do you think is impossible to fake?
I've already answered that.
So you really think it's the moon? So if I show you, then what's your second best?
What are you talking about?
I can literally show you how they were able to do that back then, but I'm
Okay,
not. I'm
show me.
waiting. I just want to see. I want to hear your second best.
I don't have a second best. I believe the footage is real. Show me.
Okay. Here we go.
Where are you putting this?
I can either stream it or I can tag you in it with a timestamp.
Just yeah.
This is
Show me.
dust in the vacuum, or
Here we go.
I mean, I'm expecting like for like here. I'm not expecting like it needs to be like for like, right? That's the expectation.
Go ahead, pop in the stream real quick, bro.
Yeah, I'm watching. Can we skip forward to the moon landing part?
You'll see. Well, this is
I don't want
important.
to watch this whole thing.
See?
You mean C? I'm still waiting, man. Can you just skip to the moon part?
I'm showing you the sodium vapor process, bro. And this
I don't want to
technology
watch a
was back
15-minute video.
then.
Get to the part
No,
that
no,
you're
no, no.
demonstrating.
It's just right here. It's just up until this point. That's all. Relax.
Up until that was what I was waiting for.
Do you not care? I feel like you don't care. You don't
I just
actually
want
want
to
to be
see the part.
disproven.
I just want the claim to be demonstrated.
Okay. So this is Owen Benjamin's point. He actually brought this up. He said, what if Don Pettit was telling the truth? That they actually did lose the technology to go back to the moon. But what he meant was like they lost the technology to reshoot the moon footage. Because they don't actually have the prism anymore.
Yeah, all their tapes were different. You know, they needed to be
Real the possibility.
overlaid. Which is why
Rick
now
actually
we
went
just
to the moon.
Yo, how
we just
interesting! What a
Isn't that
cool
crazy?
technology.
Cool
Cool,
cinematic
man.
technology, but I see no evidence that they could fake the moon landing.
That's
Yeah,
all right,
you,
bud.
you
You
can
just keep
see
spinning,
you can
dude.
do whatever
That's
you
not.
Stay
want, bro.
spinning,
I
bro.
don't want to
Bro,
I don't want to
yeah.
fight your religion, dude. It's
You
okay.
showed me Mary Poppins as evidence for the moon landing. Is
Yeah, I
that
don't want to
serious?
fight your
Bro,
religion.
you're good, dude. You're good. Buzz Aldrin's awesome, bro. We like Buzz Aldrin. It's all good. Dude. Relax.
Next.
Yeah, dude. Just
I
all
can't
good.
believe you showed me Mary
Look at.
Poppins as evidence for the moon landing. I can't
Yeah,
believe
does
you
Yeah,
he
done that.
know
bro.
about?
Yeah, I know,
Hold on.
right? Those silly.
That says
Hold
more
on.
about
Those
me than it
silly
does about
flat
you, honestly.
earthers,
Let's see
right?
if he
Those
knows. Let's see if
silly.
he knows about his model. Let's see. All right.
Not
Do
even.
you?
Not even. Just those silly flat earthers. Just let them meander through life. You know.
Yeah,
Crazy
Rick. Do you
bunch.
know about the ties of Disney and NASA? Do you actually know about the ties between
You
them
ask
and
me,
how
yeah.
Walt Disney was very
I just want
very
to go back
fond
a step.
friends with Werner von Braun? You know,
Cool. I just want to go back a step. You just
you're not
showed
even
me Walt.
listening. You're not
You
even
just showed
listening,
me
dude.
Mary Poppins as evidence of a faked moon landing, and now you want me to engage with you in some random topic about who was
Yeah, he
friends with
showed
who.
you a really cool piece of technology, but you're too stupid to put it
I didn't
together.
want to see it because I asked for
That's right. You
footage
didn't
of
want to see because you
demonstrating
Yeah,
that the
rejected
moon
truth.
landing could be fake,
that's
Because
not
the
that
because
Mary
you
Poppins was made.
know
that's the
what
I don't know
dust
how
is,
you
technology,
man.
can make all those
dude.
analogies.
That's the technology that would have been used at the time to fake the moon landings.
But that
Because you
doesn't
could
address. Okay, that doesn't address
you could
any of
have
the
the
issues I
lunar
raised.
dust you could have the lunar dust in one frame, right, and then them in the rover in another frame
How do you
and
get the
put them
lunar
together.
dust? Where do you get the lunar dust from? How is
What do you
this doing?
mean, dude?
What do you mean, dude?
Seen that?
What kind of question is that? The issue with the
Pancake.
lunar
How
dust
can
is
I
that the lunar
fake
No,
it?
dust
dude,
Look,
is
look,
we have to
we
explain to
actually
you
use
every fucking
flour.
step of the way, dude.
Come
I
on,
wasn't
dude.
around, dude. Neither were
Go
you
fuck yourself.
to actually be able to. I
yeah,
have
he
footage
probably
right
sees
here,
baby powder. He
bro.
probably sees baby powder and thinks it's lunar dust.
Prove to me that it's not baby powder.
Yo, we got a movie in
Man, you guys have
2025
got
called
like some
Fly Me to the
serious brain
Moon, dude.
rot.
Hollywood flick called Fly Me to the Moon. They got moon footage in there replicating the moon landings, dude. Go look at it. Look at the
Why
trailer.
don't you show me?
Was he Australian, Pinky? That explains it. Rick, get your boy. Oh wait, Rick Sky and Rick. That's right. Oh, you guys should fight to the death. Only one Rick can
Patrol.
survive.
I've already had a
That's it.
1v1 with Rixie. It didn't go well for him.
Oh yeah,
All right.
dude.
Well,
You asked me for evidence of how
he's
they
got
could
such a
possibly
big head.
fake it, though. I just
And
showed you that the
right,
technology
all you
existed.
showed me It was no, it didn't. It didn't exist because what you showed me was
I
video
just showed
footage.
you.
How to make
What you
the video.
okay?
Yeah.
So, but what you showed me is that they could make Mary Poppins.
No, that
There's
they can
nothing in
have
that.
no, that they can have they can have effects where they don't need a blue screen or green screen, and they don't need a computer at that
So how do they
time
get?
to be able to fake, to be able to composite video.
So how
The
do they get the
sodium.
effect? How do they get the effect of?
I just showed you the
No, you
video.
didn't. No,
It's a
you
different
didn't.
light, and they can put it on top of the other one. The
So you're
color.
trying to tell me that a different light makes dust behave differently. Is that your
No,
position?
you're just no, dude. That's not
So
the point.
explain
The
it.
point is
That is the point because
is
the
if they
way that
were
the
able
dust
to.
behaves
Okay.
is the point.
This guy's just going to refuse to see the point.
Yeah,
I'm
They put
asking.
case. It's penguins and flowers, but same.
Somebody try to sell him something. He might buy it. Yo, do you
But
want
those
insurance
penguins
for
and
Coriolis?
flowers
Do you want
do not
Coriolis
look
insurance?
real.
Do you need
actually, I
Coriolis
have.
insurance?
Yo, Issa, I'm glad you asked. So, Rick, I have some NASA products that I've been saving for someone just like you.
Yeah, cool. So the problem with the footage that you showed me is that the fake things in that were cartoons and did not look real. So and now you're trying to say that those were real? Is that like those are analogous to real
No, you're just
footage?
retarded. You're just trying to make my argument not my argument.
Well,
So
Yo,
you
would you
asked
buy
me
a
how would it
bracelet?
be possible. You said how would it be
Would you buy
possible
a?
with the technology. I showed you the
But what
technology,
the
and now
technology
you
allowed
don't
for
even want to accept
cartoon
it.
Yo,
the
I'm
technology
selling
allowed
bracelets made of
cartoons to
moon
be
yarn.
overlaid with film.
Don't
It
show
didn't
this guy
show
cartoons, dude.
it didn't show it showed the cartoons being able to be overlaid with film. It didn't show that you could overlay
Here, bro.
dust
Say-
that was behaving in a unique way that's not possible on Earth with a film.
Rick, how much are you willing to spend on this? I have this exclusive NASA hair clipper set, nose and ear trimmer, bro. It's just for you.
Yeah, cool.
Do you want to buy it? 100,000.
Yeah, cool. Done.
Okay. Sick.
Yeah, go fuck
You
yourself.
see this, Issa? You see this? See the chat, dude? That was at Ross, bro.
So seriously, like you've not shown me how the dust part is possible. You've shown me
Okay,
how
let's see if you
cartoons are
can
possible.
steel man
How
what.
the
Hold
dust
on.
part's
Let's.
possible.
Nice.
I'll continue this conversation if you can actually steel man what I showed you.
You showed me it was possible to overlay real footage of real people with a cartoon background.
Or any background of your choosing with.
Not any background.
With.
Because
What was the technology?
I don't know, sodium light filters or something.
Yeah,
I
so
was
you
waiting
weren't
for
even
the
paying
moon landing
attention, bro.
footage. Well, I was waiting for the moon landing footage, which never came because that's what I asked to see. But you see the problem here, right? Like you can surely you can see how hypocritical this is. Like you ask for a demonstration of gravity in a lab, and it has to be a model the size of a basketball, but it exhibits all the features of Earth. You ask for that, and then you use cartoon overlays of film and say that could possibly fake the moon landing.
No,
The question is, how do
sodium
you get
vapor wave
whatever? How do
film.
you get
Okay.
how
You
do
say
you get
whatever,
the
but
footage?
that's like that
Okay,
technology is insane. They used
yeah,
that at
it's
the
great
time,
footage. Yeah.
and it blew everybody else out of the water. Hence why Disney got on the map. Guess who's friends with Walt Disney? Very, very close friends with Walt Disney. Do you
Hitler?
know? Pretty close. How about Werner von Braun, the creator of the Saturn V rocket that got you to the moon?
Excellent.
You don't think that there might be a connection there? Like, hey, bro, I
Appeal to
heard you have
possibility. I'm not
sodium
interested.
vapor wave technology. All right, maybe I can borrow it to make it so that we landed on the moon. Oh, and by the way,
Maybe
Stanley
appeal to
Kubrick
possibility.
also
Sure.
at the time helped out with the filmmaking, dude. You're just closing your
Parsons.
eyes.
Jack Parsons, that's your boy.
Yeah, you like some Satanist.
Appeal to possibility. I'm not interested. Like you
No,
guys
I
should be
mean,
aware
was he a
of
scientist
logical
or
fallacy. Appeal to
magician?
possibility is like a massive one, right? Surely you're not going to just like appeal to
So you
possibility
would
as if that's like
defend fucking John or McToon or Reds, whatever the hell his name is. You would rather defend his use of a rocket going up into the sky and having the gas being dispersed, right? It disperses more and more in all directions as it get higher. You would take that as a good argument for when SE said demonstrate a gas ball inside of a vacuum. So you would say that no, that actually makes sense. That tracks versus the same thing that I'm showing you here. Like you're saying, like I'm asking for the impossible, or I'm not demonstrating it. I'm literally demonstrating that the technology to fake a moon landing footage is possible.
What you're
without
demonstrating
Hey, real quick,
computers.
is that you
I
can
put some
overlay two
footage in the
different
chat.
images.
Yeah, I put some footage in the chat that shows like they may be on harnesses. So like there's an example of some reasoning why we think that maybe the Earth, that the moon landing was faked. There's an
Yeah,
example
so
of the
what you've
footage.
demonstrated is it's possible to overlay two different images.
Yes.
That's okay. The first image is video footage, which is fine. I'm not disagreeing that that's real.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously real people dancing. Yeah, I agree. The second image that they overlaid was not real. Do you agree that the second image that they overlaid there was not real?
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
yes or no
of
question.
course.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. So if they need to overlay a second image, that image needs to be, in 1960s technology, photorealistic. Because
Okay.
the moon landing was very realistic in terms of the footage. It looked very real in terms of the quality, in terms of
You're
the way that the
absolutely
dust
high.
behaved. Okay. Now, the problem that we've got is that the issue isn't that it's not
Have you
possible
looked
to
at the
overlay two
video that
different
Issa
images.
tagged you in?
No, I'm talking to you. The issue isn't that the footage is impossible to get a picture of a dusty area. The issue is that it's not possible to get footage of dust behaving like that. So you're in 1960s technology either going to have cartoons or real footage. There was no CGI. There was no AI.
Okay, you say there's no CGI, but that I literally just showed you that it did exist at that time.
Well, no, it's videography effects, not CGI. CGI has a specific meaning.
All right, computer generated images, but still, you know
So-
what CGI basically is composite imagery, basically illusions. So like the illusion that this astronaut's actually on the moon, like so you see that video that he posted and tag. I don't know if he tagged you in it. I'll tag you in it. So this is what Issa was saying. Like, doesn't it look like they're on harnesses? Could you actually concede that it might be possible that they're just on harnesses?
The issue that we have is that the dust, and this is the issue that we keep talking about, the video of the dust
This has dust in it.
the video of the dust was not fakeable at the time.
But see, that's where you are wrong.
Okay, show me that it was. I'm not talking about I'm not talking
Yeah,
about overlaying
that's
two images. Just
that's your
demonstrate that the footage of the
presupposition,
dust.
dude. You don't
How
know
is that a
that.
presupposition?
How do you know that? How do you know that?
I don't, because everything I've read and everything I've seen indicates that's the case. That is my belief, and I'm open to be proven
No,
wrong.
how do you know that? How do you know that they didn't have the technology back then?
Did you hear what I just said?
You didn't say anything with substance.
Well,
Just
then fucking
rhetoric. How'd you
listen.
know that?
I said
How'd you know that?
that is my belief, and I'm open to be proven wrong.
Okay, let's watch this. Watch this video that I tagged you in, that Issa posted for you. Issa, what was your question exactly?
I was just wondering, like, you asked for specific, you asked for footage of the moon landing that, like, would lead us to believe that it may have been faked. And I'm just saying there's an example of it. Like instead of going off into, because Basicles was kind of granting you a little more leeway in the sense of like, hey, look at this interesting tech because that's interesting shit. And that's maybe the way that they could have faked it. But like the obvious, real, like, old school flat earther thing is just show you the moon landing footage because it's so that,
He's breaking up for me.
You roboted, but I'll translate. It's retarded looking.
That's not very good as an argument. It
Yeah,
looks
neither
retarded.
is saying, oh, it's impossible for them to fake dust.
Okay, so then
how do you
so then
know
show
that?
me-
That's a claim in itself, by the way. You have to show that it's impossible.
That's proving the negative. It's impossible to do that, as you would be aware.
You're making a positive claim.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I said I do not believe it's possible. prove otherwise.
You said they went to the fucking moon. That's a pretty
now he
positive
wants to
fucking
play the
claim.
neutral ground, dude. Now he wants to play the neutral ground. That's what
it's
it's like atheists. Well, you know, I'm an atheist until you get confronted with evidence of being an atheist, and you can't provide evidence. Oh, well, you know, I'm really agnostic. You're doing the same thing.
Atheism is that you do not believe in theism.
Yeah, you don't believe that they were able to fake the moon landings, but then when we confront you, well, what's the evidence, right, for your belief? You're like, well,
You're asking for
you know,
evidence
I
of
just
lack
don't know.
of proof.
You're agnostic. So are you agnostic?
That's all right. Lion, I wouldn't get too worked up over this guy. This guy is the same guy that said you don't need the stars for celestial navigation.
Right,
No,
and you
that's
know
not
what
I
dust
said.
looks like in low
I said we
gravity.
weren't talking about celestial navigation.
I'm just saying that that was a
we
statement
can
that you made.
We can.
You know, because he knows that evidence of
What I
absence
said was,
isn't absence
we
of
don't need the
evidence.
stars. We don't need the stars.
You don't need the stars for celestial navigation.
That's not what I said.
That's a quote unquote.
Clip it. Show me. Post it.
Yeah, well, you did say it, bro. I will clip it.
Didn't.
Yo, apparently there's a few Hollywood movies though that fake the moon landings.
Yeah,
for like how you know for flicks. No, I'm saying
Rammstein.
we got 2018 First Man. They got lunar dust.
2018. It's a hot minute after 60.
It doesn't matter. You dude,
Yeah,
oh my god, bro.
Did you really think Mork and Mindy were from outer space?
Does matter.
You were denying that it was able to be replicated today, right? In
Show me the footage.
2026.
Show me the footage then. Show me the footage of dust
You
behaving
did
like
not.
that.
You don't think it's possible at all to be able to be replicated? We have a movie in 2018.
Why would I think something is possible that I haven't seen? Show me the footage.
Dust.
I will be convinced.
Yeah, that's your own personal problem, dude. So what
Okay.
you're dealing, you're not
Then you've got
persuaded
nothing
by
to say
the
to me.
evidence. We have
You've
the
not shown
evidence.
me the
You're
evidence.
just not.
You've not shown me the evidence.
Yeah, you're just not
I'm asking for it.
persuaded by it.
I'm asking. No, you haven't shown me. I'm asking you to show me, and you haven't shown
Find
me.
it. Just find
Well, we've been showing you the evidence right now. You didn't like the mercury, or no, it wasn't mercury vapor, sodium vapor lamps, and the Hollywood techniques, or how they were able to.
I think that's cool footage. But what I'm yet to see is you've got to overlay one image over the other image. What you've shown me is you can overlay people over cartoons. Very cool. Very awesome for the 1960s. Amazing. But what I haven't been shown is how you can overlay a rover. Okay, got the rover. You can overlay that over something, but you have to overlay it over other footage. You have to overlay it other footage of
Stacking,
whatever.
dude. Stacking, bro.
Yeah, but where do you
Layers,
get the other
layering,
footage?
bro. What do you mean, dude?
Where's the other footage
Stop
come
playing
from?
stupid, dude.
No, where's the other footage come from? It's not a cartoon, which is what we were showing with Mary Poppins. Where does the footage of the dust come from?
It actually is a cartoon.
Do you think that the sodium vapor technology is something to do with the dust or something?
No, that's my point.
I mean, it's a real rover on real ground with real dust, and you
but
just
it's not
seem
real
to...
dust because the dust in the moon landing footage doesn't behave like dust in the atmosphere and doesn't behave like dust in the Earth's.
How do you know that?
Because you can see analysis of it.
You've never seen it without an atmosphere, so you don't know that.
I've never seen dust without an atmosphere. You don't think there's any footage of dust without an atmosphere?
So are you saying that moon dust is like Earth dust or something now?
Did I say anything like that, Rixie? Like anything?
Well, I'm just trying to work out. Like, you're saying that it's not the same as Earth dust or something.
It doesn't behave the same, no.
The way that it falls to the ground, it has a specific ballistic ballistic arc
Don't they
or
say,
parabolic
like,
arc.
Don't they say moon dust is like extremely consistent or something? Like almost as if it came out of like a fabrication of a grinding down. Like they've got a certain grit size. It's very consistent grit size.
I'm sure it is, but...
Well, why would that be the case in a natural world?
What would be the case in
If
the natural world? Like the sand on
that
the
dust
beach
was
is very
created
consistent.
if that dust was created by meteors striking down, like closer to the impact, further away from the impact, you'd have different sized dust particles. If it's extremely consistent, it's not actually. You're asking for what? Can it be faked or something?
What are you talking about, Rixie?
You're asking for something like, what is it? You want the moon footage to look like Earth dust footage or something, right?
No.
Can't be faked.
No, the other way around. He's looking for Earth dust to simulate moon dust, the way that it falls.
What I'm looking for is dust.
Why would you expect that?
If this was filmed on Earth, I would expect the dust to look like the dust behind the vehicle I just posted.
No.
Yo, I got you. Yo, go to here. I'll post the link. But this is 2018.
Hang on.
He's not gonna accept
Stop.
it now.
Stop. Rixie, I'm talking to you. I would like you to explain to me why the dust in the moon footage doesn't look like the dust in this rally footage.
Because it's artificial synthetic dust, you bush turkey. That's what I was talking about with the grit sizes. If you have basically like a fucking, if you manufacture, a scene, a scenario, you stick your little go-kart on there and you're driving around on it, and that grit, right? So that dust that you're pointing at from that rally car has all sorts of different sizes, which is why some of the dust falls down really quick and some of the dust lingers in the air. But if you just have a manufactured, like standard size grit that falls through the air really quickly, it's going to appear exactly like moon dust, bro.
Can you show me that?
It's to do with the grit size proportional to the Earth. Sorry, compared to the what is it? Is it the density of air?
We don't have the prism anymore. We can't show you.
So if I thought, like, wait, I'll go find something real quick.
I mean, here's a car driving.
Yeah, I posted a link from 2018, dude. It replicates it pretty close. I mean, I don't know.
On sand dunes, which
I
are
haven't followed the parabolic arc, but yo,
well,
whoever's available, can you stream this?
All part of it.
It's just a trailer. It's a trailer, bro. It's only a couple minutes.
The crazy thing is, if we can't
There's
even
probably
get
a better
past
one.
the Apollo 16 or Apollo 17 footage, it's like how are you going to be able to handle like Artemis 2 being faked? Like that's crazy. Probably think that all that's real too.
Like, dude, we should be looking at video, but we got pictures that are still just photoshopped on levels. We got lines.
Dude, the live stream, like it literally in the live stream, there's 0G indicator, right? There's ZGI as they call it, which is hilarious. Their plushie literally didn't cast its own shadow.
Yeah.
You know that, Rick?
And it always is a plushie. It's always a little toy.
Yeah. And there was like one scene literally recorded where they had the astronauts, the main guy, Captain Reed or whatever, taking a picture of the black guy next to the window with the smile. They're like, Earth's smiling, look. And he was just dying hysterically because it's like, making reference to the joke about the black guy when he smiles in the dark. All you can see is his teeth. Jeez. Literally doing that. Swear. Literally doing that live. And then they zoom into the window and then you hear Houston, right, say like, there's a lot going on through window 1 right now. You got the solar relay, you got Earth, we're all smiling at you guys. And there's a bunch of what you're seeing there, and basically it was all those little space bubbles I was talking about. She was like, this is a CCU dump or whatever, which is basically a piss dump. So they're literally taking the piss out of you watching. Like, it's crazy, dude. They're smiling like the Cheshire Cat. That's literally that's what she said. She said it's like a Cheshire Cat. And what's the Cheshire Cat known for? Deception.
What
so, like,
are you talking about, man?
I'm literally talking about the live stream from Artemis 2.
What?
Yeah, they don't.
How are they taking the pee out of
us
us when it was the astronaut pee they were releasing from the spaceship?
Prove that that's necessary. Can you show us some proof of the necessity for these shenanigans?
But you would say they're like pissing on us, but saying they're taking the piss out doesn't make any sense.
Well, because what they were taking the piss on us, because if you look at it, right, the dump is happening and it's going all over Earth. That's smiling.
And a lot of the Earth.
No, it doesn't. It goes in orbit. It just orbits around Earth.
Okay.
In Europe, say, are you taking a piss?
I mean, this whole like wordplay stuff you guys are going on with is so wild. I'm just asking for someone to demonstrate this footage for me.
Oh, but it's the whole fucking mission, bro. their sponsors,
Have
their
you
ritual.
done any work with analogies or storytelling, Rick?
I'm
You ever
not
done
at
any of
all
that sort of
interested.
stuff?
Yeah,
Any
no,
Yeah,
work
not
cool.
with
at all.
So you won't
analogies?
get
Like,
it
what
then.
does that even mean?
We're
Pardon?
not talking about telling stories, Rixie. We're talking about physical
Apollo,
evidence.
Artemis, the
You need
No,
twins.
you actually don't know or understand how the artist actually works at all.
Right. And
And if
as
we're
it
saying that
turns
they're
out, Rixie,
faking
you
it
don't
and it takes
understand how
art,
science works.
yeah, so you just missed the whole point of the conflation with art and science.
And you missed the point.
He's really good at dodging points.
I'm not dodging points. I'm asking a question. I'm getting given an answer, and then when I say, "Okay, can you show me that?" I'm sitting here waiting, and get nothing.
Dude, I'm pretty sure your argument shifted from show me that they faked the moon landing, or it started off as like, show me they could
Show me how they
fake the
could have
moon
faked
landing,
it. Yeah.
how they
Okay.
could have done it,
Okay.
and then he shifted it to show me that they
But-
actually did do that.
No,
Which, I mean, if they
no.
actually did do that, I don't know why you'd be expecting that evidence.
Exactly.
No,
That's what
that's not what he
that's
asked,
what you
actually.
it shifted. You were not listening, Rixie. What I said was, show me that it was possible with
To fake the
1960s
dust.
technology to fake the dust. That's what I have asked
I
for this
showed you
entire
how
time.
it was possible.
You showed me a cartoon was overlaid behind real
Yeah, and
footage.
what did he do in the middle of the overlay? He was spreading salt.
So
Is that not?
Dude,
Is that
all
not?
you
Is
need to
that not good
do,
enough for you? Smoke?
no, that is not even
Smoke's not good enough
close.
for you. Okay, well
That
then
is
you're
not
just
even
asking for
close.
something unreasonable.
all you
That's
need
all.
to,
That is not even
to fake the
close.
dust, right? The cause of the air density and the fine grains of air dust, all you have to do is manufacture or fabricate a specific type of dust that falls quickly in the air volume and then spread it out on the ground
Hang
and
on,
take your little
Slowly.
pretend dune buggy and then slow down the footage and you'll get your
No.
perfect moon dust, bro. Easy done.
No. That's not true, Rixie. The
Very
speed at which the dust falls is not limited is not dictated by the size of the dust. The speed at which the dust falls is limited by the gravity of the environment.
No, it's
amount.
due to the
No.
size of the
It's
particle
just
of
a
the
stupid.
dust.
Dude, we don't have to feed into this, bro. We don't.
What
It's a
speed
stupid
will the dust
request.
fall at on Earth?
Pardon?
Yep.
What speed does things fall at on Earth?
Well, you notice that
What's-
a piece of dust will fall to the earth a lot slower than a rock, right? Despite the fact that they could be made of the same substance, you recognize
So
the
what's the
different
rate of-
sizes,
what's the
which
rate
is
of
why I'm
acceleration?
referring to the grit size according to the density of the medium that it's floating through.
But he's asking for something that's unreasonable. Like he wants us to pull up the techniques that they use in the '60s to fake it, but nobody knows exactly how that happened. Like, how are we supposed to do that?
Oh,
You
here's
said it
something
was
good.
easily fake, and I
All
said,
right.
"Can you demonstrate that?"
You're
check this
you're
out.
asking for something that we can't provide, and then you're using that against us, like
No,
absence
he's
of evidence.
That's fine.
Like, hold on, like
If you cannot
absence of
provide
Lion. He's
evidence.
asking for a hypothetical.
Bro, hold on, dude.
If
Absence
Lion,
of evidence isn't
if you
evidence.
cannot
Hold on,
provide
bro.
it,
Yo, I'm still talking, dude.
yeah, I know you are.
Absence
If
of
you cannot
hold on,
provide it,
bro.
Yo,
Bro,
someone,
I
guys,
can't even get the sentence out,
Rick,
dude.
I
stop
want to hear
interrupting.
Lion.
Yo, come, somebody,
I want
please,
to hear
dude.
Lion.
I got you guys. Just
There's
relax.
a
Everyone
fallacy
relax.
known as the absence of evidence fallacy, right? Just because we can't provide evidence, right, from the '60s of exactly how they were able to replicate your hypothetical model, right, doesn't mean that that you've proven a negative.
I got something we can chew on. Lion,
hang
check
on.
out my stream.
No,
bro.
I just listened to
Rick?
that word garbage. If you
No.
if you cannot demonstrate it, that is fine. What I said was, I'm not convinced it was possible to demonstrate it. And if you say, well, I
Right.
think it might have been, but I can't prove it, then I say, oh, okay. And we both move on. That
Okay.
is it.
Let's move
If
on
you
to
cannot,
this.
well, hang on.
Yeah, but
I have no
lack of
idea
proof,
what this is, and I'm
lack of
interested.
proof
I didn't say
doesn't
it was.
inherently
No, it means
inherently
that
prove that the claim is false, that they didn't fake
but
going to the moon.
it certainly doesn't
Thank
provide
you.
any
Thank you,
evidence that
Lion.
they did fake going to the moon. The fact
Absence
that you
of
can't prove
evidence
it, that it was
fallacy.
fake.
Look it up.
That's not
Okay,
what he
well,
said. You've like missed the whole point.
No, he's
Waiting to say
assuming.
your next thing.
all
No,
right,
he's
well,
assuming that that they didn't fake it. That he's assuming that.
yeah,
Because I
we
can't see
know
any
his
evidence that they
religion. That's
did.
his religious belief right now, but that's okay.
I haven't
I'm
been.
about to
No,
test it
I'm
No,
right now.
I mean,
I'm assuming they didn't fake it because I can't be shown any evidence they did fake it.
Okay, I'll show you
I'm
evidence that
open
they
to
did
Exactly.
fake
That's
it
my
right
point.
here.
That's my point.
No, hang on. Is this
you
Absence
something
of
think
in
the
Earth?
absence of
default, but
evidence.
Lion, do you think
Absence
the
of
default?
evidence.
You think the default
Absence
is
of evidence
no? I'm
doesn't
talking
prove
now.
that they didn't
I'm
fake
talking
it.
now. You're repeating yourself for the third time. But listen, do you think the default position is that everything's faked?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
100%.
So why should we? So
Because of this, how about
incredible.
this? How about the simple fact that when they took off from the moon, right? The moon, there's an angle right here from the Apollo 14. Okay, so they have the flag, right? They just planted the flag. There's footprints in the moon dust, right? That moon dust, right? That's only 1/6 of Earth's gravity, so that moon dust should be really easily moved, right? So you have these footprints, and now they're about to take off. They're about to blast off. Okay, you ready for this? And then they don't even change. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's like the dust isn't even there.
Your video froze. Can you show it again?
You see it now?
No, I did not see it. You have to show it in like frame by frame because I can't see what you're saying.
Okay.
See, saying it's all fake, and it can't all. Something has to be good. It's email.
So it looks like there's a lot of dust getting blown around. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the footprints are still there, dog.
Well, so but you wouldn't expect all of it to be gone
I
necessarily.
don't see any of the footprints being changed at all. This is supposed to be your malleable moon dust.
I don't think I made any claims about the nature of the dust, but
Wow, dude. Come on. You can't admit this right here? You can't admit that that is suspect?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff getting blown around. It's
Yeah,
I'm not
except the
sure.
dust.
I
That's
see
the
dust getting
point.
blown around as well.
Where do you see the footprints that are right next to the vehicle?
I see them right at the beginning, but it's hard to know. Like, I mean, I don't know. In terms of answering this question, I don't know what angle that's looking at. I don't know how close it is to the thrusters. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, so I can't comment on it. I have some
Bro.
questions. If you'd like to answer the questions, I'd be more than happy to
All right,
ask some
check it
questions
out.
about it.
It's obviously affecting the flag. Okay? So one would assume that the dust beneath that flag, that very easily moved moon dust, because it's only 1/6 of the moon's gravity, right? You were even saying how, they can't replicate that fake dust. Okay, well then it should be moving. It's not.
But it is moving. You can see dust moving.
Where the footprints are, you don't see that. How it's not moving at all.
You don't see the footprints
Right here.
disappear, but you do see dust move. But also the fact that the flag's moving is there's no resistance on the flag. So there may have been
This is real right here.
It looks real to me. The default, as previously pointed out, the default is that it's believed. You don't say every single thing is fake and then prove it's fake. That's the default, is that it's real. I mean, I don't know. I can't answer your questions, but I don't see any evidence that that's faked.
Wow, they're moving pretty fast, huh?
Well, it's hard to know. I don't know what camera that's taken from. What's the angle on the camera? How many, what type of camera is it? I mean, it would look fast if it was a short lens, wide angle,
So if I
How
go
fast
back,
are they moving?
here's these footprints. They're all right here.
Okay, I get it. There's footprints. Very cool.
Okay, it's not actually being affected.
Well, hang on. Can you send me
That's
a
a
link to this
mound
video?
of dust right there.
Yeah. Well, send me a link to the video, please. I don't think there's any. I don't know if the moon. I don't look. I don't
It's
know.
impossible. It's just religion with you. That's fine. I don't want to take away your belief, bro.
No, I'd like you to show me, prove it. I'm open to
No,
it, but I don't.
it's fine.
That's all you've shown me is. All you've shown me is a video where there's lack of footprints getting blown away or something. We don't know what was between the moon lander, like between the footprints in the bottom of the ship. We don't know if there was a block. We don't know anything. I mean, you're just appealing to a possibility.
Is the flag moving?
Yeah, but it would take almost nothing for the flag to move because
I'm not the one appealing to possibility. You are.
There's a video.
Right. I don't know. Okay. Hey, believe it, bro.
Well, hey, Beast goes. What was the force coming out of the back of the engine?
Doesn't matter. Could be minimal force.
Sure it
could be
does.
a lot of force, but it was enough force to move the flag.
Yeah, but how much force would it take to move the flag?
Therefore, it should be less force to move the dust. Would you agree?
Why? Why would you say that? They're not in the same location. They're not even in the same location.
But it's moving.
How much force does it take to move a flag in 0 atmosphere?
A lot.
A lot?
How
really?
much?
Yeah, because
how much does it take?
Okay, well, either way, the dust should be moving. It's not moving. The footprint should be moved.
How do you? You can't say. You can't say. Hold on. You can't say if it should be moving if you don't even know how much force is being exerted.
Or the distribution of the size particles.
You guys can just
to
play
loop
patty
back to
cake
something
the moon footage in the background for all I care. I don't care anymore. You guys really
No,
want to
don't
believe
tap
that
out
that's
now,
real?
dude. We're getting to the
You guys-
bottom of this. You might be onto something big. Let's figure out how much
So the
force was
moon
coming
dust
out of
is
those
able to
engines.
be kicked up. Okay, the moon dust is able to be kicked up, and it's very easily moved. This is what you guys were saying, that it's impossible to fake because of the moon dust, the physics of the moon dust, right? How do you fake it in a 1/6 gravity and no atmosphere? That
The
was
very
the claim.
specific claim is the speed at which the dust
Then I
falls.
show a video where it should obviously be moved, and then it's not moved. So
Well, you said obviously.
You
I'm
guys
just
are
asking
saying
questions.
no.
We're doing our
This is,
research. You got to do your research deeper than just saying.
yeah,
Oh,
dude, we've done the
if
research.
there's something, then the dust should be moved. Like, let's look at
You
what the
guys are
forces
saying-
were and make a determination.
Okay, dude, you guys are saying that it's easier to actually go to the moon in the 1960s than it is to fake it in 2026. That's what you're saying, dude, and you want us to believe it.
We don't want to take anything away from your religion.
We can't
you
even
can
go
believe
back
whatever
to
you
the
want.
moon in 2026. We're not going back anytime soon. Yeah, it's easier to go back to the moon in 1960 than it is to fake it in 2026. That's what you're saying, right?
No, no one said that.
No, faking it would be easy.
Yes, that's what you
plenty
guys.
of
That's what you
movies
guys
about
have been
landings.
saying. You don't even realize that's what you're saying because you're so indoctrinated into your religion.
Well, no, what they're
if you
saying
were,
is
if you were to
more
just zoom out,
believable. Hold on. It's more believable to you guys that they could go to the moon in 1960, whatever, and that's more believable than they could fake it to you guys, right? That's what you're saying,
You see.
right?
Well, like there's certain things that I think would be extremely difficult to fake. So
Right, right. Going to the moon though is easy, but trying to
No one
fake
said it was
it,
easy. No one said it was easy.
it's less easy than faking it. Is what you're
Well,
saying.
and to fake
Or more easy,
moon
easier
gravity,
than,
yeah,
than
that's tough.
faking it. I mean, definitely that's too much to handle for like some technology on Earth, right?
You should try to do it. Let's see if you guys
I'm
can
just
do it.
saying. No, well, I'm saying to you guys, like I mean, like we don't believe like you guys do, but to you guys think that it's more believable that we go to the moon than that we could fake it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, fake it and convince the Russians to go
Right,
along
right,
and agree that we faked it and
well,
get
right, right. But to
10,000
you guys, it's
people.
more
Hold on,
believable.
hold on. And to get 10,000 people to all agree and lie that we faked it, and to get the astronauts to lie that we faked it, to fake telemetry data, yeah,
No,
and
all
to
it
fake
takes is
gravity on the moon, to
dude.
fake
No, all you need
the
is
dust falling, all
compartmentalization.
that stuff.
All
Yeah,
you need is compartmentalization, dude. All you
Ryan,
need
it's
is
okay.
five people to be in on it. The rest are under an illusion. They have no idea what the
Nobody
fuck's
can
going
prove
on.
that though, Lion. Nobody can prove that. But the point is that
well,
you're
I mean, we
right. Like,
built rockets, right? We built and launched the rocket.
right. It's like we could
How many
build.
people do you think?
Well,
5
yeah.
people did that, Lion?
Now what you're saying? Oh, now what you're saying is it's more believable that we could go to the moon than it is to get 10,000 people not to talk about something, right?
Well, it's a combination.
Yeah, getting
You meant-
10,000 people to not talk about something is really hard.
Do you know what a non-dis is?
Yeah, you think these people are going to
No,
sign
I'm
a
just saying. Like, I'm just
non-disclosure,
curious. Do you know what that is?
I do know what an NDA is. Yes, signed many of them.
I'm just saying. So, like, you think it's more believable that we went to the moon than to get 10,000 people to stick to a non-disclosure
It's
agreement,
not the
right?
signing part that's hard, dude.
Is it like a mask where you can't confess that it doesn't do shit? You just go along with it? Or, I mean, like, you're basically tortured into a confession that you didn't do. Like, you really believe this, or you just don't want to disagree with those 10,000 people that might not even be there anymore because nobody's buying this shit. You're here defending it. I don't know, bro.
I just wanted to bring up something that was mentioned earlier. Someone said that moon dust was all really consistent in size, but I just quickly Googled that and it appears that's not at all true. Just wanted to put that out there.
You guys are ridiculous, dude.
Super good argument, bro. Love it.
So that is the point, though, that you can get people to confess the things they didn't do with enough pressure. So shooting a rocket off, and the rest fills itself in. All right.
I would just think like, why not just argue that? Well, they could have faked it back then. They can fake it today, but I think they went to the moon. Like that's a cool response. That's a
I mean,
genuine response.
because I
But
don't
like
believe
to say that it's like unbelievable that they could fake it
It's not
versus they
unbelievable.
went to the moon. Like to die on that ultimatum is pretty fucking crackhead. Like, you know what I mean?
Is it though? But like,
Oh,
my
fucking
default.
100%. It's some crackhead shit. Fucking 100%.
Okay, okay. Well, I disagree because when I see
Because you're
some
a crackhead.
footage,
Because you're a crackhead.
See how you guys
By that
you
fucking weird
can't be
ultimatum you just
quiet
took.
now all of a sudden.
yeah, they're super quiet, except for Isa, who just wants to abuse people. Literally, the
Well,
only
you
reason
guys
he's
are
here.
retarded, man. You're coming with these shit arguments, man. It's
No,
acting
just
like you got some,
grandstanding.
acting like
You
you're bringing
guys are
something.
grandstanding. I don't know. I don't understand why. If you have the stronger
Isa,
position,
if you think that
It's
I have a
not
shit
even
argument,
it's not even
demonstrate
that. It's just the simple
demonstrate
fact
that
that
it could have been faked.
you got to look at the source material, okay? First of all, the live broadcast that was broadcast to everybody in the nation and some places in the world, right, that had the broadcast, they didn't even get a direct feed. They basically just recorded NASA's screen. So, right there,
Yeah, but
you have
it's
a man in
60s,
the
bro.
middle. You have a man in the middle, okay? There's no actual source material that you could verify yourself. It's strictly only from NASA, and it's not even the live stream. We have no idea if it was live stream or not. That simple fact alone should give you pause.
But that, all you're saying is you're saying, oh, this is a reason why it could have been faked, and then expecting that we go, yeah, it was
To
faked.
give you pause before wholeheartedly accepting it as truth.
Okay,
That's the
but what
first
I'm
thing you
saying
should
to you,
honestly admit.
what I've been asking this entire time, and again,
You can't even admit that,
no
though.
one has demonstrated that the dust is possible to be faked. Everyone keeps saying how easy it is to do it. Like Rixie was going, oh, you can just get manufactured sand from a sand crusher and it will look exactly the same. But he's not been able to show me that. Like if this was possible to fake easily, which is what the claim was, if it was possible to fake easily now, it would be exceptionally possible to fake easily. Sorry, if it was possible to fake in the 60s, it would be exceptionally easy to fake now. But no one's been able to show me that.
yeah, I agree that. And what I would add too is that if you assume if they faked in the '60s, there are these little sort of details that they wouldn't be able to replicate. I think partially it would be impossible for them to even know how to replicate it. And so these are the things that we look at to say, okay, like are there things about the footage that really realistically couldn't have been faked? And these things do hold true, like the gravity things.
Oh, this is an interesting one. So the photograph of the footprint that was used or whatever, or that they took of Neil Armstrong. You can compare and contrast the bottom of the actual
Oh, please don't say
astronaut
his
suit.
boots. Oh my
Why
god, I
not?
knew he was going to say the boots. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Keep looking into it.
Why is it embarrassing? You want to explain?
Well, did you do
I'll give you
research to like try to
yeah,
debunk it before you shared it, or did you just like
yeah,
look it up and share it instantly?
I'm just
literally
asking.
just like I can't even.
I literally just looked it up. I'm just asking.
Okay, the bottom of the astronaut suit that they show you, that's not his boots. That's the astronaut suit. It's like a wetsuit versus flippers. It's not the same thing.
Okay.
And it's like one of those things that people say so often. It's just like
Astronauts now. Where are they
You got to
now?
be really careful what sources you trust.
I agree with that. That's the only thing I actually do agree on with what you just said right there. Sources, because I like going to the source material.
Shouldn't these astronauts be heroes? Like, I mean, Mark Kelly is the biggest joke.
I mean, I consider them they are heroes personally.
He's a liberal.
Yeah, fucking awesome too. He'll probably be the next president. Be so sick. I don't even a fighter pilot, astronaut as the president of America. That'd be so sick.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Fucking super badass. Like 125 missions. Like what a fucking badass.
66 days, and because guns are bad. That's
Has anyone ever said that?
Well, his wife did get shot in the head, but you know.
Can't disprove that. Sorry, guys. I'm just saying, that's your guy. All right, we got the guy that like it's real, but just telling you it's not. So,
What?
I mean, you want to make fun of Mary Poppins?
I'm not making fun of Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins was sick.
Why? Well, I mean, like in Mary Poppins' argument. Well, why is Artemis a mission? Why is there a female and a Canadian on the damn thing?
What?
It's serious, right? These people aren't impressive. Mark Kelly is not impressive, dude. You know anything about?
I think he's pretty cool. I like Mark Kelly.
Leadership,
especially like his haircut.
Fighter pilot like John McCain. Guy didn't belong anywhere in an airplane. So, and somebody told us that, but he's a war hero. So,
hell yeah,
that's how it works. And we might find out that he really wasn't. And Mother Teresa will go down before some of the people maybe y'all want to. I'm off.
Well, yeah, I wonder, like, do you guys, like, are either one of you guys Americans that are Globers here? Like,
Bro,
is
do I
it,
sound like an American?
I know, but there's another dude, right? Pfinky. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Well, I was wondering, like, why do you? Well, I was just wondering, like, like, is it like through patriotism or for the because Earth could still be a globe, and we didn't go to the moon too, right?
Could be, yeah. I don't. It's not a particular hill that I would die on. It's not one of the strong arguments I make for the. It's not one of the strong arguments I would make for the shape of the Earth, personally.
Right, but you could like agree that like the Earth could be a globe, but they still fake the moon landing, right?
I mean, I don't agree they faked the moon landing, but I don't believe that. Well, I wouldn't use the moon landing as evidence of the globe.
There's a lot better
Right,
evidence of the globe.
So
We've
they
known it's a
could have.
globe
So
for
they could have
2,500
faked it then.
years. The moon landing.
So they
Right.
could have
I didn't say
faked
that.
it.
60 years.
Hold on. I just want to hear that you could say that it's possible that they could have faked it.
No, I'm not convinced that it's possible they could have faked it.
All right, what about you, Pfinky?
I'm not. I'm also not convinced that it's possible.
That's
Wait,
some
it
crack.
doesn't.
That's some crackhead behavior right there, man. I don't know what
It
to
is
tell
some
you.
crackhead behavior.
It doesn't have to
Worst
be that
response
it's possible. It has to be like, could it be that it didn't happen and people believe it?
What?
Well, okay.
Could it?
Let's say they.
I'm
They could
phrasing it
have like
differently.
ancient giants that they're hiding underneath the earth, and they use these guys and some
Well,
other
that's what
like
you're proposing.
ancient
That's what you're
witch
proposing.
magic. Hold on,
You're
hold on,
proposing witch
hold
magic,
on.
dude.
I'm answering your question. You guys want to answer the
Oh,
question, or
sorry,
you
sorry. Go on.
interrupt? They could use some like witch magic to make the dust not fall at the right speed, and they do some like incantations. And so, I mean, I don't have any evidence of that, but I guess theoretically there could be some
Seems very
magic
framed.
involved.
It seems very framed. Yeah, witch magic is the only way that dust could fall in some weird way. I don't know.
I'm just giving you another option.
I don't even
Seems
know
more
which
believable.
side you're on, and I'm like, I don't like what you said.
Blue, these guys are ridiculous, bro. They have a religious belief.
I don't even know which side that guy was on, and I was like, I wouldn't even accept that on either side. But
Well,
yeah, but you'd accept some camera like Mary Poppins type dust.
I still don't
sprinkling
know which
fakery.
side you're on. Wait, which side are you on? It will help me adjust.
The dishonest one?
You'll figure it out. No, it's not.
Yeah,
No,
dude.
it's not. Don't grandstand beasticles. You have just as much of a religious take on this as you're
No, I
accusing other
actually
people
have a
of
religious
having.
belief. I believe in biblical cosmology, and that is an actual belief.
Which
So.
I don't mean
would
it in
believe
the. I don't mean it in the formal religious. Just in the way you meant it when you accused us of it.
Wait, so
So
you're
Blue-
saying that like the dust that fell, like say on the lunar rover or whatever, you're claiming that like that obviously
is
could
real
only
because they
could,
can't fake it.
like
Yeah.
that could never be faked with camera or anything like any
Any
director with
technology from
camera
that back then, right?
couldn't fake that.
No, they specifically there are two things. There's the dust, the speed at which the dust falls, and then they did some other experiments where they dropped.
Wait, how do you know what speed the dust
Hold
fell?
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
This is video.
They like dropped a hammer, and they'd have to like film this thing, and then somehow figure out how to get things to fall at the exact gravity of the moon.
Sure, so
Dude,
you
it's
slow it down
it's
to
actual
whatever you
crackhead
like.
dementia, bro. You can't follow along with this, dude.
But
Slow
It's
it
next
down.
level.
You slow
not
it down to what you know the math shows. Why
But
wouldn't
it's
that
not just
be
about slowing it
hard?
down, because it's not just about slowing it down. It's not about speed.
You can't
It's
do
about
that, man.
rate of
You can't do
acceleration.
that.
What
It's
do you mean?
impossible.
Well, you guys should be the ones that know how it's possible.
No,
Why don't you
I'm
guys
not
explain to us?
anybody. I'm not a
Explain.
guy that knows anything. You're the one that's telling me something that I'm supposed to like believe. So tell me, how
What
fast
you're
should
supposed to
things
believe,
fall,
what you're
and
supposed to
why
believe,
shouldn't that be known before it falls?
well, it is. But if you I'm just going through this once more because I'm getting really sick of this conversation because it's just going around in circles.
You got to be
Right.
trolling at this
Okay, so
point,
this
right?
is what I
The
would
rate of
expect.
acceleration,
Is like I'm
the
tired
rate
of
of
this. I don't
acceleration.
want to explain it. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to explain it once more. Is actually what I said. The rate of acceleration of the dust is not something that you can fake by changing the speed of the camera, because the speed of the dust is measurable based on the video. You can go frame by frame and you can take measurements of the dust falling next to the size of the wheels, and you can work out the speed, right? The rate of acceleration is not something that can be faked, because the rate of acceleration is limited by the moon's gravity, and on Earth it falls at a different speed and has a different rate of acceleration. Secondly, the way the dust falls is also impacted heavily by the absence or the presence of atmosphere. There is no dust on the moon
Okay,
that is held up in the atmosphere drifting. It all falls, which means
this
that
is
all
all
of it would have to
obvious.
be really, yeah, exactly. It is all obvious. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
In
So
the 1960s, I am not convinced that this was possible to be faked in the 1960s.
You're watching dust
so
settle,
provide
dude.
what your
Is that what you're
expectation
doing?
is versus what they displayed. But
What they displayed was a video overlaying people and cartoons.
I
Very cool
think
footage,
that
very cool technique, but we are not looking at a cartoon when we are looking at the moon landing footage.
okay, so I think that what you saw created your expectation, not the other way around.
No, because I said this before they showed me the Mary Poppins.
You would have never said this before it happened because this hasn't like I've never heard this until literally like
I said
recently.
this before they showed me. Okay. Firstly, this has been demonstrated by people who are much more adept and skilled than me.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. Stop right there. That's it.
No, and I'm convinced by their analysis of it because they are experts in the field, and that is how science works.
There you
That guy's
go.
smart. That guy better than me.
Should have started with that because then I would have believed you.
Secondly, I have a reasonable amount of experience in analyzing things and asserting, and working out whether things are true or false. That is a big part of what I do for a living. And I'm convinced that the footage is real until someone can demonstrate that it's not. As yet, the best I've seen is cartoon footage from Mary Poppins.
Glue, check out my stream, bro. This is what I showed them, right? So this is their claim. Their claiming is that the dust, to be able to replicate what you see in the video that the dust does. So like, watch them hop around and stuff here. So like, look how easily malleable this dust is. This is their claim. Oh, that matches our moon's gravity, right? Okay, it'd be so hard to fake that, right?
That's not the footage I was
So
talking
in one,
about.
so in one breath, it's okay. So in one breath, you're saying it's so easily moved because it's 1/6 of Earth's gravity, right?
Never said that.
But that would be the implication, correct?
No.
How is that not the implication?
Because it's not what I said. I didn't say at any point say it was easily moved.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you this: is the dust easier to move in 1/6 gravity than it is on Earth?
Is the dust easier to move in 1/6 gravity than it is on Earth?
Takes less force. Takes less force.
Takes less force, right, Glue? Right. Any logical
To
person
move-
would say that. To move
Well, it depends on the dust. I mean, I don't know that. It depends. If
Same
you had
dust.
moon dust on Earth,
All things
same
equal.
dust,
Less
yeah.
force, easier to move.
I don't know anything about
Right.
the dust, though, so I
You got
can't
it,
comment
right?
on whether that
Right,
particular
so-
dust is easy to move.
Easily moved, right? Now check this
Neither
out.
is
In the
it,
same
by the way.
footage, they're about to take off from the moon. Now watch the footprints.
I don't think he understands the gravity consequence right
Watch
now,
this.
though.
Look,
I do understand.
ready?
Just exactly what I've been asking about.
Okay. So let me go back.
But I can see heaps of dust on the ground moving. Then, like towards the end of that, at the beginning of that footage, you
You
can't
can
see
see like
much.
massive streams of dust going out.
Boom.
At the end of the footage,
But the footprints are not. But the footprints are not moved at all.
How much
Well,
force
yeah,
is
the footprints have
exerted
been
by that?
pressed into the ground, so that they would take.
Then there's
Going to your
mounds of
guys'
dust
thing.
right
Hold on,
here
wait, hold
too.
on. If I press a footprint into the ground with the force of a man, or if I have just some dust sitting on that, which one is easier to move with gravity?
You hear this ridiculous argument, Glue?
Well, here's where I'm at.
That's just grandstanding and avoiding it, dude.
I will
address
never.
it,
I'm not
address
gonna.
it, or don't. But
I'm not going to argue for
You're
a
just
flat
running away
Earth,
from
but
it.
I will say the moon landing is abhorrent, dude. I can't even believe that you guys will look at this shit and be like, "This is fucking what
Dude, I
I'm."
prefaced it beforehand. I said you can
Crazy,
still believe in
dude.
a globe and think that NASA's full of shit. I told you that
But
already.
yeah, I know that, but that does appreciate
The moon
fucking
landing is
allowance
pathetic,
for my
dude.
beliefs. Well, demonstrate.
Notice how that you guys just keep saying it's crazy, it's pathetic, and you're not showing anything. Like you guys haven't
No,
shown
but
one
you
thing yet.
think going to the
That's actually
moon? You think
pathetic.
going to the moon
what
is
you
just
guys
an
are showing
everyday
is
activity?
so bad. You want us to
Yeah.
like.
I haven't seen anything that's bad. I haven't seen anything
I
that's
know
bad.
that's what's crazy to me is like you can look at like a lunar lander and be like, and you can look at the thing that like blasted off and took everybody back up to the spaceship, and they can like dock onto a spaceship, and you're like, yeah, we could totally do that back then in the 60s with disc brakes and carburetors, but we can't do it today. It's the craziest fucking shit that you guys believe that.
Like
I don't
no one said
understand
that.
it.
Though. No one said that though.
Oh, but no, I don't need you to say it.
Well, so you're saying it. So you're just like arguing
I
with
don't
yourself.
need you to say it, and I know your guys' weird fucking bullshit of like, I didn't say that, therefore, like, no
Well, no,
claim. I
but
don't live in
no one
debate
said.
world, bro.
I believe that they could go back to the
Hey,
moon
can I ask you a
if they
question?
chose.
Can I ask you?
They will.
you a
Like
question?
eventually, I think they will land somebody on the moon. If it's
Right.
not NASA, it'll
They
be
should
another
have done it.
country, or it'll
They should
be
have done it in the
SpaceX.
70s, 80s, 90s, and
But it's
today
expensive,
easily.
and we gain little. I mean, Americans can't even pay for universal health care, and you're expecting them to spend
There you
trillions
go.
of
All
dollars.
right, deflection.
Like,
Yeah, we can.
what
We
deflection
pay
is
Am
more
I
that?
for
breaking up?
radiation than you guys do.
You don't.
Bet
Hey,
money on it.
can I ask you guys a question?
Who are you asking?
Oh, you guys, Globers.
Go on.
The defenders of the globe. The what do you call it? I was wondering, do you think going to the moon is like an amazing feat of mankind?
I might call it an amazing feat. It was a pretty awesome technological step, but I don't know.
I mean, going to the bottom of the ocean is probably harder.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's
So
only
you guys
14
don't
psi
think? So you guys just
Space
think
is
like
not that
just
hostile.
not impressed, basically. Like just you guys
No,
are
I'm
just not
impressed, but I think there's
Impressed.
harder. Like I
impressed.
really legitimately think going to the bottom of the ocean is harder than going to the moon.
Almost
Right, but
certainly.
going to the moon is like impressive though. Like that's wow. That's fucking like a.
What do you want us to say, and
That's
we'll say it so we can fit into
I
your
mean,
whatever thing you're doing here.
No,
I
no.
don't.
he
I'm just
wants an
curious. Like,
actual stance that you guys won't give.
I just
Give a
gave it.
stance.
No, I said yes. It is.
Both.
Yes, it's an amazing feat. It's not the greatest feat of all mankind.
it's not the greatest feat of all mankind.
No, I don't think so. Pretty impressive, but I think there's been a lot of other things we've done.
Yeah, he just said that going to the bottom of the ocean would be better, which is
They have. They go to
asinine.
the bottom all the time.
Regardless,
No, they don't. Less
regardless,
people.
dude.
Hold on. Less people have gone to the bottom of the ocean than have gone
No,
to
you're
space.
talking about Marianas Trench. People have gone to the bottom of plenty parts of the ocean.
mean,
Most of the
count
Okay,
ocean.
I
me.
am
I've
talking about
stood
the
at the
Marianas
beach.
Trench. Yes,
Okay,
less
yeah.
people have gone there than have gone into space.
Okay. Why is that important? Who
Yeah,
cares?
why would you say?
It's more
Why
challenging.
would you say what you said?
Yeah, don't you just like? Isn't going to the moon like enough? Is that like? Is it just not enough? It's not impressive. Like it's not like fucking like.
I don't
That's
get the
not
bit
like
you
a
don't.
fucking. That's not.
Obviously, we didn't answer it in a good enough way for you, so I'm sorry.
Kind of.
Sorry about that.
Whatever I said, make it
It's
the other
only a
end.
little bit awesome, but it's not that not
We
that
didn't
cool.
Like
answer
landing
it.
stuff on Venus is crazy. Like putting a
In no
rover on
way.
Mars is pretty awesome.
I don't think you guys know enough to like have an opinion. That's what it sounds like. You don't want to like stand up.
We haven't watched all the
and then
BitChute videos that you've watched.
They just say we, and they repeat that.
Well, no, you don't like if what you're saying is true, it's fucking amazing, dude. Like
Yeah,
the reason you're
who
here
said that?
defending it. No, the reason you would be here defending it is because you would be like, this is the most glorious thing that mankind has ever done. That's why I want to be sure that you guys don't, you aren't misled and thought, and you think that this moon landing footage is fake. Like that would be reason to argue your position. But to just think that it's like
Okay, change my
some
answer to that.
everyday
Change my
occurrence.
answer to whatever you just said.
That's my
That's
answer.
my new
Whatever.
answer.
This is such a weird bit. I don't get it. Eh?
I'm not surprised you don't get it. But I'm just saying, like, it's just
Anyway.
weird to me that you guys don't understand, like, or appreciate your own position.
Well, like, how apologetic? Like, let me hear. Like, why haven't we gone back? Right? It's
costs a
about
lot of money.
money. Like, how are you an apologist
easy to
for
do.
like why we
You
can't
could
get
do it
back?
anytime.
I'm not an apologist. What do you mean? Who said we can't get back? Like this is
Okay, then why haven't we gone back? I want to hear.
Because-
Okay, I would love to hear this.
We're just waiting for the right time.
It wasn't a priority.
That's an apologetic answer. Sure. What else?
Well, why would we go
It's
back? That's the first
Okay,
question.
yes, all
It's
my
gonna cost
answers are
money. What's the
apologetic.
Because
motivation?
everybody talks about it. It was the biggest
It's a
thing in the
landing fee.
'60s. We
Yeah, it's
all
been
wanted
done.
it.
Also, the
It was a
aliens wouldn't let
space
us.
race. It was like a race to get to the moon. We got there first. We're like, sweet, we did it. Boom.
Dude, is that how you guys live your lives? Where you're like, yeah, we did it. It's over. Like, who gives a shit about going to the moon?
Just have
That's
to do it once.
so
gotta prove it.
insane that like people would think like that.
Yeah.
Just once
Who
and for all,
cares
we're
that
going to the moon.
all
And
There's
you only
loads
have
of
to do
people
that
who go
once.
data
to
was
skydiving.
And
fucking
say,
deleted?
guys, we just have to go to the
You
moon
know,
one
like
time to prove this.
it's like
That's it.
it was deleted, and we are cool with that because we already did that.
I
Like
want
those
to
people go
hear.
skydiving once, right? Like
Oh,
they do
sorry,
it once, and
sorry.
like that was cool. Like I was really happy I did that once.
Rick and
Go
Pinky.
back
This is
anytime we
footage.
want.
This is footage I recorded myself while watching the NASA's Artemis live. Right, the Artemis 2 live. We were watching it in here. I was streaming it, and I caught this. Their ZGI. That's what they call it. Glue. Isn't that funny? They call it ZGI.
Well-
It's a 0G indicator, right? They use a plushie. Watch what it does. It doesn't have its
I
own
don't-
shadow.
I don't
Wait,
like how
you were
they
filming this, or
PR
this is
trained.
just your
I'm
you were
recording the
screen
live stream.
recording while watching the live stream.
They're clearly PR trained, and I
But look,
hate it.
It's going through her arm.
What are you talking about?
Check out the stream, Glue. Look at that.
I see it. Yeah, and like
I don't see any. I just see like a static.
let's say
That's
there
just like
was
some
no
normal
like
rock and roll
CGI
astronauts.
issues and all this like whatever. Just the fact that like they bring them together and they're like take a PR op, like fuck that, man. You are astronauts. You're supposed to be doing something crazy. You should be weird, dude. You should be weird ass motherfuckers. Just like I just don't understand this.
I just wanted to show you something though, so you can see how
Beef
his
Pickles,
hand is.
99% of these things. The same with like all the like lizard people glitches. It just explained to temporal compression artifacts.
I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. You can say compression, but that's not the main part
Temporal compression.
He's casting a shadow with his hand on her leg.
I will
The shadow is
agree.
being casted over the
honestly.
plushie. The plushie is not casting its own shadow.
I will agree with like all of these artifacts. I will agree with you guys on that. But
There's
what
still a
I don't
shadow
agree
over
with
her
is
leg,
that
to be clear.
there's 4 people smiling and some weird like it's a weird PR thing. It's just so fucking weird.
Where's the shadow of the plushie, dude?
Why do you think the plushies make
Where's the
shadow?
plushie in space? Like how far out in front of him is it?
I'll show you again.
Of
All
course
right.
it's blocking.
Watch
light.
his
It's a
hand.
object.
The shadow is still there on her leg, man. The shadow is from something else.
Look at his hand. Okay, his hand's casting a shadow. See?
Shadow's still there. Shadow's still there. Shadow on her leg is still there.
There,
It's probably
right
not
there.
very
Did
well
you see
lit
that?
in there. It's only a space station.
It's casting a shadow.
Maybe his arm. But what's casting the shadow?
It doesn't.
The shadow on her leg doesn't look like it's moving to me.
Hold on. I'm
Why isn't the
freeze-framing it.
camera pointing onto the Earth? Like,
That's a complete
why
sign.
can't we
That is
see
not a plushie.
the whole trip?
Look at this stuff.
Because we have plenty of photos of the Earth.
Did you guys watch? Did you watch
Oh
the
my
part that
God!
was?
Why would you wouldn't want to see the whole trip, like from beginning to end, camera watching the entire thing?
No, you guys didn't watch it either. Like you guys, none of you guys watched it. The parts that they did show.
Let's show it. No,
you heard it. They
show
don't
it.
want to watch it, or well, it seems
No,
like
I
most
want
people-
to.
No, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch
I
10
want to.
days straight of the same thing being shown. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Fuck.
Yo, we
Where's
used
the
to be
shadow of the
believers,
plushie?
man. This shit was like what we were all about when we believed in this shit, bro. Like we thought it was so legit back in the day. I did. I thought it
Still
was
a shadow
super
on the way,
cool.
by the
That
way.
chick likes to get down, dude.
Right?
Maybe the globe leads to apathy.
Now the shadow's gone because the plushie's moved.
I don't like the Canadian flag up there, but I'll allow it.
Pretty sure shadow is from her arm, not his arm.
So look, he's casting a shadow. Look.
Why is she
What
in
it looks
socks?
like?
Is that
what
is
it looks
that
like,
even
and this is
legal?
pretty clear. Yeah, yeah. Listen,
see?
what it
wear
looks like.
socks?
There's
Hold on a second,
multiple light
guys.
sources.
Hey,
Yeah, there's
globe
multiple
believers.
light sources.
Are they trying
Listen.
to
There are
bait
multiple
people
light
that are into
sources.
socks?
Look at this.
So a small object.
Watch
like
his
a plushie.
hand.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
are you
Which
that
hand? Which hand?
jealous?
Which hand?
Right
hand?
here.
Watching it for so long.
His left hand. So
Which
with the
which
watch,
person? Which
on the black guy,
Okay, okay.
right there. Okay. Now watch his hand. It's casting a shadow beneath, right there. See, on the
No.
see it. You don't see that?
Why don't you? Can you point it out or something?
No, I need like a pointer, dude. I can't. It's
Oh,
hard
you
to
guys
see
can't
what
see
you're
my
saying.
cursor? Oh shit.
No, we
okay.
can't see your cursor. No.
Oh, okay, here. I got you.
Yeah, well, we can hear you cursing.
Has a shadow. Any of these. It's on her lap
Now
earlier.
you see my cursor?
Yeah. We see it. Okay.
Okay. Oh, now that makes more sense now. Okay, check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are the
All right,
guys
so
wearing
look.
shoes, or does everybody wear socks?
So the guy's hand is
It's a
casting a
pajama
shadow
party?
right here. See? It's casting a
Not
shadow.
really, man.
Right
No,
there.
a little bit. Yeah.
You saw that? Where's the plushie shadow?
Well, the plushie looks like it's way out front.
No, he was just holding it.
The problem here is that
He's
there's
holding it.
multiple light sources.
Where is the plushie shadow?
Yeah, it's not there.
It's not
Thank
easy
you.
to see.
Oh no,
So you think
now
that
it's
the-
not easy to see.
Is
Come
it
on,
like a
dude.
vomit
Hang
comet
on,
where
your
the light
position
doesn't
is that
work?
they CGI'd this entire thing.
Sometimes
and
in a
this involves
vomit comet,
CGI-ing
He's
a
about
shadow
to
from-
go
because
down
there's
on
no
that
gravity,
microphone, and
you
I
can't have
can't
shadows.
take my eyes off
Did
it.
you guys notice that?
It's also multiple light sources, which really
Now-
distorts the shadows.
How about this? How about this?
My issue with
back-
Beasticles is like we've done this. We've done
They
this like
can't-
about 4 or 5 different times, and you're like
Look at
you're
this.
over on these things.
Really? Okay. So they
This trip
can't
seems like a lot
superimpose.
of fun.
They can't superimpose something, right? Where look, see the background, right? Oh, let's put a plushie in. So you don't think that's possible for them to
They
actually
beam it
put
They
in?
use transporter technology.
Yeah.
What's the point though? Like, okay, so they've superimposed the plushie, and who gives a shit? I don't get the point.
Wow. So now you don't care that they're faking shit.
He's an apologist, dude.
Yeah.
I can't stand it, man. Like
They're
I
faking
can't
shit to
stand it.
educate kids on the truth. Okay.
Like
That's
I'm
what they do.
on your side so many times, but like when you're just apologizing for obvious garbage, it's hard. You're
It's so
apologizing, I
obvious
just don't
too.
care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Obvious to
I don't
you.
care. Lie to me, baby. Lie to me.
It's all fine, baby. Yeah, baby.
Why
Yeah, I
do
don't
we
care.
about a plushie?
Yeah,
Snacks are real
invite
low,
your
bro.
friend over while I'm at work.
Is
That's
it a
fine.
crime not to cast shadows, guy? Is that what that is?
What does it matter to my life, bro? What does it even matter if the Earth, like, what does it even matter if they?
What does it even matter if
I
they
hate,
fake
I
it?
hate
Here's the
that one.
thing.
That's like the
If
most
we
low
go-
IQ thing that people say is like, what does it matter to me? It's like, okay, well, it doesn't matter to you, I guess.
Has anybody? I'm
Idiot.
guessing somebody's actually like pulled
It
this up
obviously
and
does.
found
They're
the
in the
shadow
server.
and
I
like
know.
shown where the shadow is.
I hear you.
Have you guys, Beasticles? Did you try to debunk this, or did you just like see it and then you guys
what,
ran with
dog? Dude, there's no shadow.
it? Your own claim. You're sure? You're 100% sure? Like if we go find and then somebody else shows where the shadow is, what are you going to say?
Show it.
No,
Okay.
that's not what you're going to
Did
say.
you try to
No,
do that?
like,
Did you try to
We're
do that
here
though?
for that. We're here for that. Like, bring it.
Show it.
Okay. What
Yeah,
are the
but you guys,
implications
did you
of
get
finding
any
the
of you guys
shadow?
try to do that yourselves?
That was my own footage. I recorded myself, numbnuts.
Well, no,
but
but I'm saying, did you
what-
go try to? Did you really look for the shadow?